Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back once again to another fun and exciting episode of Disney Compendium, Volume 30. A nice round number for a phenomenal movie. Nick is my
Yep,
usual co host, and he's still my co host. There he is
I'm
over there.
still your co-host, and damn it, we're going to talk about Beautician and the Beast, starring Fran Drescher and Timothy Dalton. So here's
Yep.
the story. He is like some oligarch, right?
Okay.
And he hires Fran Drescher as like a nanny while she's doing the show The Nanny, but also as a beautician.
Ah.
And then they fall in love.
What about
Son of a son of a gun. I've done
you
it again.
you did it again. I thought for sure you were gonna go with the Ron Perlman TV series,
The
but
Ron Perl and Linda Hamilton TV show that
yeah,
ran for 3 seasons from 1987 to 1990.
yes, exactly. I was gonna go if I was gonna try to beat you to the punch and start talking about the 2011 romantic fantasy drama film Beastly,
Oh God.
starring Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeesh. What we're saying, guys, it's just we're gonna be talking about Being the Beast, like the good one. There's a
Yeah,
lot of garbage that trying to tack itself onto this movie.
yeah. This movie was like such a success that
Yeah,
to this day people are still trying to make Beauty and the Beast. Um, the
including Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney themselves are still trying to cash in on Beauty and the Beast, um, and for good reason, uh, because it's phenomenal. Uh,
Yeah,
but
and it was
I
a
also want to,
modest hit.
yeah, I also want to point out that the Ron Perlman series was not cashing in on Beauty and the Beast because it predates
It
it
came out
by
before
several
the
years. Yeah, yeah.
and his it was a different semester. He was like an orphan or something like that.
In my mind that show was like cable,
It was CBS.
but it was
Came on
CBS.
CBS,
Yeah,
right?
inexplicably, I feel like no, that was like USA Network or something, right? Like late. No,
I think they might have run the reruns of it.
I feel like reruns were playing on the USA Network at some point, but in my mind, that's
So
just yeah,
I had a mom. My mom would work like she had like a weird afternoon shift, so she'd come home and watch it on Fridays because she loved that show. I'd watch it with her, and it wasn't terrible. But the funny thing about that show, kind of getting off topic already,
yeah,
is that Rick Baker did the makeup for it,
yeah,
and he's the guy who vouched for Ron Perlman. He goes, no, I need Ron Perlman here to do this.
yeah,
And that's kind of what jump started his career. That show,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Sarah Connor and Hellboy
there, yeah,
in this romantic
yeah, yeah,
CBS show.
yeah. Go figure,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah, and like there were I think 1940s there was a
French
Beauty and the
film. Right?
Beast. Yeah, French Beauty and the Beast film that we'll get to that because, well, I guess I'll just say it now since originally Disney was like this was one of the early ideas that they had,
Right.
but then like this version came out and Walt's like, it's somebody's made it. What's the point? Like, so like they didn't pursue it any further for quite a while, obviously.
And also it's better they waited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's better they waited.
Yeah. This time made this movie much more palatable in the future. So
And also like the technological innovations they
yeah,
had in the movies prior to this, like where they kind of like
yeah,
we'll get into it, but like they kind of like okay, this is what we can do with the CG now. Now we know how to use this in a real practical way.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny looking at like the cast list because it's like all of the bit parts tend to be like these big like recognizable names, and then like you know Beast himself he's an actor, but like you don't recognize him from anything other than this. And then once this comes out, it's sort of his career from here on out. So
Robbie Benson, right?
Robbie Benson. Yep.
And then Paige O'Hara's done other stuff.
Yeah, and she's an artist,
Yeah,
so she's got her stuff going on. But then you get to like uh, um,
David Dodge
Jerry or
Stars.
Jerry Orbach as Lumiere, and Angela Lansbury as Mrs. Potts.
Yeah, I guess,
uh,
and then David Dodge Stars is the clock. So
yeah,
Cogsworth.
yeah, Cogsworth. Um, so good, great stuff here.
Yeah, Mr. T is LeFou. It's weird.
Yeah,
Word.
that'd be great.
Come on, Gaston.
imagine Mr. T singing the Gaston song.
Um,
You
no
can't
more
even.
bots like Gaston. Uh, I don't know why I'm doing DMX now, but
Yeah, yeah, you've just turned it into DMX, exactly.
how
So
do you feel about your mama, Gaston? Love my mama.
45-minute Hall of Fame inductions just talking about how great moms are.
How great moms are.
Yeah,
I love.
in a movie where no moms exist.
Yeah.
I guess Mrs. Potts seems to maybe be a mom.
Well,
Well,
she's Chip's mom.
Chip's mom, but like, yeah, there's no dad there, and she seems. I don't know how old Mrs. Potts is. But
I
seems,
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't seem particularly young. So, like, I wonder, I wonder if something happened there. Uh,
It's like so Chip's your son, huh? Yes.
sure, it's like
Nodding her head.
it's a. Oh, who was it that was like who was it that found out like, oh, it turns out my sister was actually my mom the whole time, but I was raised by
wasn't
my
that
grandmother.
wasn't that uh Bobby Darin?
Not who I'm thinking of, but I think. Oh boy, now it's everyone's yelling that's listening to this.
It wasn't Kevin Spacey, was it?
No,
No, but I think it was Bobby Darin.
uh, yeah, I'm going to just yell, uh, yell it later on in my the show, but I'm gonna have to yell this. No, it's Jack Nicholson, I think.
Was it Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, I think it was. Like, I don't know why that just dawned on me all of a sudden. I think it's because we were talking about. I don't
Now I'm gonna look it up.
know. No, Jack Nicholson discovered the woman he always thought was his sister was actually his mother. True. Okay. Well, so that's on Snopes.com, so you know.
It's true.
Yeah, I think it's because we were talking about Batman earlier. That's what made Jack Nicholson pop
Yeah,
up in my brain. This is we haven't even barely talked about Beauty and the Beast. We're talking about everything else under the sun except for Beauty and the Beast.
yeah. Bobby Darin was as well.
Yeah. So let's get right into Beauty and the Beast, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Um, this is one of those movies that starts off with a montage, I suppose. I don't know. Like, I don't know the right word for this. It's like the storybook opening, like explaining the curse
With stained glass.
with stained glass.
Yeah.
It's Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I do. They introduce the curse right out the gate. This is what's happened. That
Right.
Beast, whatever his name is. Um, do we learn his name at any?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But like the old woman is kind of like just ready to be like, take this road. No, you're cursed forever.
Yeah, she's truly setting. It's entrapment at a point.
Yeah.
But but like he's clearly a jerk.
Yeah.
But like, but she's just making the situation worse by also like I don't. Yeah, she's setting him up effectively.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like the live action version does a better job of explaining that.
Yes, yes. This is actually one of the few times where we can talk about the live action one along with the animation one at the same time because we've
Yeah.
both seen the live action one.
Well, I mean, we were
Um,
talking about mothers, like the whole
yeah,
plague mat scene in the live action
yeah,
version,
yeah.
and Marty scrolls there.
Yep. Um, but so yeah, so he rejects the rose and because she wants a place to, she's looking for shelter.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You no, gross old lady, get out of here." And yeah, so the spell is that if he can't find true love before the final petal falls on his 21st birthday,
Right.
then like that's it.
And
That's it
it's
for
not
good.
like Little Mermaid where it has to be a kiss or anything. It's just
Yeah,
like somebody just has to love him.
yeah. He I just love him. Yeah,
Yeah.
very simple. Frozen is a nice kind of did the same thing
Sure.
with that, and I
Yeah.
like think Frozen handled it better, obviously, but because you can only do so much in how long is this? 84 minutes.
Yeah.
So you have to really sort of expedite uh, uh, the love interest part of this,
Yeah.
and so it comes across more as Stockholm syndrome than than love
Yeah.
it sometimes. But
Like,
if the movie had like another 20 minutes or something, you could probably shove in some more stuff. It's them
yeah.
actually seeing who they truly are and why she's like like it sucks that you like, but at least she could have done more to. They could have done more to have her. Oh, so this is your story. This is why you're
Yeah.
this way. This is what happens. Like she never learns any of that.
She never questions why a candelabra is trying to make her eat dinner.
Nobody in this movie does.
Yeah.
It's buck
In this
wild.
movie,
Yeah,
again,
Maurice. Yeah,
live action, Kevin
yeah,
Kline's like, hold up.
yeah.
Why is Cuisinart singing at me?
Maurice is a buffoon. I guess is the best way to describe him. He is.
I don't like Maurice. No,
He's he's better here than in some of the other adaptations you'll see of Beauty and the Beast.
yeah.
The one that I sent you, um,
Was that a Good Times
it was
version?
the Good Times
Yeah,
version of Beauty and
you
the
just tell
Beast.
by that garbage animation.
Yeah, Good Times would go on to like do video games and stuff too, which is insane.
Yeah, it's
But
like, because they knocked out of the park with their movies.
yeah, uh, GT Interactive.
Yeah,
That's Good Times Interactive. People don't realize. Oh, they started off as garbage Disney ripoffs, and Beauty and the Beast. Like he's just a jerk in that. Like it's like he stole a rose, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's the original story too. Like he's
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. This one feels a little more um, natural with Beast just being furious.
yeah,
Like because it's not like because the whole stealing a rose thing just comes across as neurotic. Like
yeah.
that's what set you off. Like this dude broke into your house and ate all of your stuff, but it's the stealing of the rose that set you off. It's not even the rose. Like
No,
if it was you were trying to take the rose, or if these roses were in some way synced to that rose, anything, but
yeah.
it's not. Like yeah, so I think just him just being just general blind rage and then throwing Maurice into the dungeon makes more sense for this character's traits.
I mean, let me ask you a question. Watching this movie,
Okay.
did you want to be mean to Maurice too? Like,
I I feel like he's getting bullied in the town and you understand why.
well, like,
Like
okay, so he will kind of cut like, I'm skipping over a little bit, but Maurice is going to go do the thing with his inventions, and then this dude tells his horse, Philippe, you got us lost. Like, nah, bro, it's a horse.
yeah. Yeah, it can only go in the direction you point it, my dude.
You
And uh,
stupid old senile man.
yeah, but I guess we skipped past pretty much. We're just gonna
Yeah,
go at
yeah,
this.
but
We're gonna go
I'm
at
just
this.
jumping to my Maurice dunking. But we
I feel this movie's phenomenal. Plot thin. Um, because you can sufficiently summarize this movie in a couple of,
5 minutes.
yeah, a few paragraphs. You learn about the curse. You meet Belle. You meet
You get
Gaston.
the opening song.
The
That's
opening, yeah. You meet Gaston. Dad gets kidnapped by Beast. Horse leads her back to there. She frees her dad for her sake. Now you have the whole okay. Now you get to know the Beast, and then Dad is trying to convince the town that there's a spooky monster up in the uh, woods somewhere. Uh, you know, it's very plot thin, but
right.
it doesn't matter as long as it's well done.
It's how you get there.
It's how you get there. It's the journey. Um, but I guess let's talk about the music because the opening song um, is absolutely fantastic.
Pretty iconic song.
Yeah, I forget. I don't know what the titles of the songs are other than Beauty and the Beast and Gaston, like the ones with
Yeah,
titles. Like this one is probably just called Belle, I would assume.
I think it is. It's called Bell. Yeah,
Yeah, because it could also easily be called like Provincial Life, but
that's that's a bad name for a song. Like,
yeah, but it's the one thing that's like that and Belle are the only two things that get constantly repeated in this.
little town, flirt with the old guy who runs a bookshop, so I
Yeah,
never have to pay.
boy, this movie really doubles down on sexuality.
Yeah,
Like, they're like the triplets that are in here, that are always wooing over Gaston. Like, they go out of their way to like animate their chests.
yeah,
Like when you first introduce them and they're singing about Gaston at the water pump.
yeah,
Like one of them literally just they're resting their chest on the thing and it's like animated. It's just like what
yeah,
are you? And there's the where it's like how is your wife, that segment of the thing where
yeah,
she like they are going for he is ogling her chest
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
she is like they really double down on some of that stuff in this movie and it's weird
They
to
double D down.
yeah. Yeah,
But I think
but this is that time frame for Disney where you get a lot of that sort of innuendo stuff playing out. Like Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid had some of the stuff, and then The Rescuers not that long ago had stuff that had to get taken out, and
yeah,
you're gonna have Aladdin has some like the animators hit or like the voiceover work if you slow it down, or Lion King if you look in the dust clouds that all kind of
yeah,
nonsense.
yeah, yeah.
But the '90s were a special time for cartoons.
Different
So
time.
yeah, late
Not
'80s, early '90s, like cartoons were in a different place, and so
not necessarily for the better, but
yeah,
just
yeah,
at a place.
yeah,
Uh, I think also like the thing with the triplets is Gaston either A, let's be frank, either had them already, or B, the challenge. So
yeah. Well, yeah, there very much is. Yeah, because that's genuinely what it turns into with Gaston. Like once she throws him into the mud, essentially, it's like, well, now I'm on the now it's a hunting thing.
yeah,
Like it's taken on a different form. Like at first it was just lust, and now it's like pride.
yeah, that's right. And
Like
I feel like we usually describe the characters a little bit, but I mean these characters.
yeah,
Like Belle is the nerdy girl.
it's
Like
so
the
funny that the town all is like, boy, she's weird. She reads books, and that's the
yeah,
extent of what makes her weird. Like she just reads books. Like it's not like she's also it's it's not like Chrono Trigger where she's also an inventor or
yeah.
something. It's
Turns out she's a 10,000-year-old witch, JJ. She just looks like she's 19.
yeah, yeah. So so
But
yeah,
meanwhile, they're calling her odd, but they're all singing in chorus behind her.
yeah.
It's like,
She's I mean, look, clearly she might be a witch because she starts singing and then it just hypnotizes everyone else in the song.
Yeah.
Uh, that was like we'll get to it very soon, but I think that was always an interesting thing about Aladdin
Yeah.
is that it presents itself right away as this guy is telling this story, and
Right.
when you meet him, he's singing a song. So when the
Yeah.
songs happen in the movie, it makes sense because like it's his story, and he's very clearly this is what he likes.
Right.
He's music. This one just is. This one's literally just a Broadway play.
And
And it's presented as that,
and
and
literally later on.
yeah, literally shortly hereafter, it becomes a Broadway play, and the people like the people involved with the music and stuff like that's the whole point of this one. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
like there's no reason for it to be for the music other than that's just how a Broadway musical would be.
Yeah.
Um,
The
and it,
special features on the disc, whichever version you get,
yeah,
I have the diamond version.
yeah,
They go into detail like this is what we wanted. We want it to very
yeah,
much feel like
yeah. I mean that's why you have Ashman and stuff doing
yeah,
music. It's like you pick those people for a very specific reason, and they nailed it. They absolutely just like just knocked it out of the park on this. Um, so okay, just back to the movie. So
yeah.
yeah, you have the Belle song. Guess you introduced to Gaston during the song where to
LeFou.
him and LeFou, like he wants Belle because she's the most beautiful. Thusly, that makes her the best.
Yeah,
His words, not Gaston's views and opinions are not those of the hosts or
yeah.
or the Disney Corporation.
I think it's a challenge thing where she's the only person in town who doesn't think that
He is the
Gaston
greatest
is
thing.
in cat's pajamas.
Yeah, like it's not just the women that all love him, but like all of the men love him too,
They clearly love him.
and increasingly more. Uh, it's like
Interesting
yeah,
ways.
yeah, like it's some of them are very. It's like I like are they're jealous of him. Some of them are clearly they just like other ones probably romantically want to be involved with.
Yeah,
Like, they make it
it's
much more clear. They make it much more clear in the live action one that LeFou probably would like. It's like Smithers, where it's like no, it's
yes,
just Burns. Like
yeah,
it's it's not just men. He just wants Gaston.
yeah,
Like yeah. Um, so and they don't play it. It's like this, which is funny because like you have Ashman and stuff who are very open, very open to
yeah,
gay in this. So like there's when you get some of that stuff in the music, you're like yeah, like the
yeah,
Gaston song, you're like I can see him like layering in some of that stuff.
yeah. Well, I mean, like that was a source of controversy when the live action one came out a few years ago. Like, oh, his character, like he's openly gay. It's like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah. He was. Yeah, it's like it was just less explicit in the '90s version.
it's like if you didn't think LeFou was like in love with Gaston when you watch the animated one,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Whatever, but
But
like
also, it's
he's totally in love with Gaston. Like
that
it's
also that was a thing in France at the time that wasn't that uncommon.
yeah,
And also, we live in the 2010, so hey, what the hell
yeah,
ever, man.
yeah. Get
Yeah,
over it.
yeah.
Uh, but wasn't Beauty and the Beast the story is written by a woman, right?
Um, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Again, this is one of those things where somebody's yelling like, "Yes, it was written by."
I like my woman. Stop ruining my
Uh,
childhood.
yeah, Jean Marie Le Prince de Bobant. Yes,
Hmm.
she is a woman.
I'm gonna guess she's French.
Yeah. It says she was a French author who was best known for Beauty and the Beast.
Hmm.
Her third husband was Thomas Pynchon, the French spy. So, she lived a life. So not Thomas Pynchon.
Not Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah. So Balky.
Please, he's
Um,
the guy from Beverly Hills Cop.
but yeah. So now after all of this, you also now are introduced to Maurice, the inventor.
Yeah.
Just a real bonehead. He's invented a wood chopping machine
Sure.
that seems to run off of a coffee pot.
I don't know. He's got this weird, like, Bill, I'm going to the steampunk convention
yeah,
with this.
he's got like these goggles and like leather hats and
Yeah.
everything. It's like it really does come across as like uh, Chrono Trigger. If you've ever played Chrono Trigger, like
I
where
feel
it's
like
like yeah,
every time I see Maurice's furnace now, I'm like, oh man, you need more like ancient gears to like upgrade.
yeah, make some armor, make the Guardian armor or
The
something.
Guardian armor, yeah, yeah. Uh, but Maurice also fits into this weird, and I don't know why Disney does it, but look at Maurice in this movie. Look at the Sultan in the next movie. Look at Prince Philip's. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
the old fat man with the walrus mustache. They all
yeah,
look like Wolf Brimley.
yeah,
Well, well,
and they're all shorter than every other character in the movie.
yes,
Uh, just
and they're all kind
inexplicable.
of doddering
Yeah,
boneheads. So
it is a very rare. Uh, they changed things up a little bit. It's like we have dads with no moms, as
yeah,
as opposed to like what you usually like. It's just like oh, there's no dad in the picture or something.
yeah,
Like so, and they do that for several of these
right.
movies because
That,
like
that makes sense.
Aladdin's the same way with Jasmine. There's no mother in.
There's no mother.
Yeah.
And then the movie after that is Disney's Hamlet. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going. There's a lot going on there.
yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, he goes off to sell his invention. Some goes to goes to some sort of
MomoCon.
some convention somewhere, some inventors convention where they're trying to sell. It's like what CES essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going to pitch his automated wood chopping device that to Vegas. He's going to Vegas. He's got a booth. He's ready to go.
I,
Uh,
I'm a, I. There's no way Maurice like remembered to like sign up for his vendor's badge.
he's just gonna show up
Yeah.
and just like,
Can I get a table near the front? Like, no.
no, what? No, we've been sold out for 6 months.
Well, okay, I'll just set up outside. No, man, you can't be on the property.
It's just Maurice next to Virgil. Uh,
Yeah. Maurice has got he's selling his wood chopping machine and pop sockets with with like branded characters on it.
yeah, absolutely bootleg. It's
Yeah.
like Bart Simpson, but like in the blue T-shirt from the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, yeah,
Hey Maurice, are these repro? No, these are real.
yeah. I
How
don't.
do you have so many copies of Little Samson, Maurice?
Yeah, I don't. I don't remember Optimus Prime being orange.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here.
He's got a Bluetooth in and he's on his phone the whole time.
Okay, so we're here to pitch our new Disney Plus exclusive to Disney right now. Modern
Yeah.
Modern Beauty and the Beast.
Modern Maurice.
Yeah.
He's he's got the Bluetooth headset. I can see it.
But he's still keeping the steampunk aesthetic.
Yeah, he's still got the wood chopper machine there.
Yeah. Yeah, just this super complicated wood chopping machine. It's like, man, we have you could just go to the store and buy
Yeah,
wood now. You don't have to. Yeah, but this does it for you. You still have to chop down the tree in the first place.
yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of like when we have our county fair here and in the exhibit halls.
Yeah,
There's always a guy with a headset. Like, listen, this is what this pan can do. This
yeah,
pan, look at that, sir. You see it? No sticking. No sticking.
yeah. They'll take like steel wool to it and show
Yeah,
you that the coating isn't coming off. Or
yeah. That's Maurice.
yeah, definitely. He is selling. It's like he's selling that, or like gimmicky kids toys that were out of date like 10 years ago. It's like, no, but like you see these tracks connect to one another so the cars can just keep moving forever.
He's got like a CRT TV hooked up with like a Sony Fun Station 4.
Yeah, it's got, yeah, 999 in one, and it's all
Yeah,
it's like 58 of them are all just like Mario variations.
yeah.
It's just like, no, this one's Mario, but he has moon gravity.
Like, please don't try to spray cologne on me, Maurice. Get away from me. And then come to the mall for your BS.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
so
so hey guys, we don't like Maurice.
Reese is a dork and he deserves a wedgie.
Yeah, he does. Like, you look at him, you're like, I want to push him down.
Yeah. It's like, where's a locker? He needs to go in there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he gets lost in his journey.
He gets lost, not the horse.
Not the horse. Yeah. Philippe. Is that the horse's name? Philippe?
Yeah, believe.
Yeah. Relatively, like within minutes of him leaving, like they just like it's like a smash cut and he's lost, which is
Yeah.
just very good. Uh, like what'd you do, buddy? It's there's a road, man. Like,
Yeah.
what did you do? How did you? What did you do? How?
Because here's the thing: the horse finds its way back to Bell, so clearly the horse has got a good sense of direction.
Yeah, yeah. Like, because as far as we could tell, they just walked in one direction. So
Yeah,
it's not like you should have gotten lost. It's just you got confused. Is
yeah.
all. Like,
And clearly everybody knows where the castle is.
yeah, because
It's like,
once they find out that there's the beast is real,
yeah,
they're there in really short order.
yeah,
So it's also the castle's not that far away.
yeah.
So,
It's this giant looming spooky castle that nobody goes to. Oh, you
yeah,
mean that castle? Yes, the only castle.
yeah, this castle in what is seemingly not a uh like monarchy of any sort. Like
No,
like I mean we're in France, you know, but like he's not a prince.
no.
So he's just very rich and has a castle. Uh,
Isn't he a prince in the live action one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like here, he's like there's no hint of any sort of royal bloodline or anything. He's just a rich dude.
He's not overlooking the fiefdom.
Yeah, because like everyone would know. Oh, you mean the prince's castle, whom we
Yeah,
haven't seen in 30 years? It's like or whatever, like 15 years. Because like he was already an adult basically
yeah.
when he's cursed, and the rose goes to his 21st birthday. So he hasn't been cursed for that long, really.
Does Here's my question though. Okay, so time advances, but does he biologically age as the beast?
Well, he would. I mean, he would have to. I mean, time is moving. The flower is growing. It has specific rules. Like I would assume he does.
So is he like in his 30s when he turns human again?
No, because
Or is he so he's 21?
it's
Okay.
his 21st birthday. That was like the caveat.
But like okay, so is he like 15 or 16 then
That's
or
what I'm saying. There can't be much time has passed to
Yeah.
where everyone has forgotten about the rich guy on the hill.
Yeah.
So it's not
But
like some of the other stories where it's like, you know, they've been frozen for 1,000 years out there or something. It's
yeah.
no, it's his 21st birthday. There's a caveat. So he was a teenager when this happened, and he's 21 now at this point
Yeah.
because the rose ends during the plot of this movie. So you know his this movie ends on his birthday
Yeah.
basically,
And,
and when
and
he
why
turns
and
21.
why 21?
Because I, it's a Disney
He's gonna
movie.
go he's gonna turn back into human and get friggin' hammered, bro.
It's France. He could already have wine. So
Yeah, I mean, he probably had wine when he was 10.
yeah, but yeah. So
Anyway, semantics.
yeah, my point is that there hasn't been a lot of time that could have possibly have traveled, you know, at this point, unless time somehow has been screwed up. But then why have the on your 21st birthday? However, time slows down, so your 21st birthday is 60 years away from now or something.
Yeah.
What's the deal? I don't understand. But
Well,
like
and again,
everyone's
this is
everyone's completely forgotten about. Like it's not like this is 2 generations away. This is at best a generation away.
yeah.
That this castle, this big castle that's on the outskirts of your little provincial town, has been there, and you would have known who was there because it's
Yeah.
the rich guy. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, this is another thing where the live action movie does a better job of going like, no, she made everybody forget.
yeah,
You're like, okay, good. There's
yeah,
your,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, so yeah, they miss some points that like probably could have been wrapped up, you know, relatively smoothly just by like, oh, and she's gonna curse you to also where the people forget about you too. So
Right.
anyone that did like you in the first place can't anymore.
Yeah.
It's because they made them all forget. So you have to start from scratch to make somebody love you, and certainly not your servants. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, Maurice is lost in the middle of nowhere, even though it's the outskirts of town,
Yeah.
um, and finds the castle and goes in there to try to, as the horse gets spooked away. A lot of stuff happens. It gets, scared off, and there's
By
fire
wolves.
by the wolves that play a role later on in the movie. And then, it starts a fire. It scares the horse, and the horse just runs off it
Mm-hmm.
back home. So it takes the horse. I don't know how long it took the horse, but it took only about seems like a day to get back home.
It was probably like maybe 10 miles on the road, but Philippe's like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah,
make it wait.
yeah,
I'm gonna make it wait.
um, yeah. We got to have this Gaston plot play out first.
Yeah.
Um, so he finds the castle and goes in there, looking for help
Shelter,
and
whatever.
shelter, whatever he can get. Um,
Greedy old fart.
yeah, well, that's in a lot of the other adaptations and stuff. That's sort of how it's played out, where he really is just a greedy old fart who just comes in and is just like, oh, wow, there's food and stuff here. I'm gonna start. Uh, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna dig in. Uh, but like the entourage in here does not hide themselves at all.
Nope.
Out the gate, they're just like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Well, I think it's Chip who first,
Yeah,
like, because the Maurice's mustache tickles him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, because uh, no, because
You hear Gaston and Cogsworth talk, or
yeah,
Lumiere and Cogsworth talking, like,
yeah,
in secret.
and he's yelling, and like Cogsworth is yelling, like, "No, don't give him anything," and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just they don't try to hide it at all,
Wow.
and he doesn't seem too perturbed about it. Like a little bit, it's surprising,
Yeah.
but he only really gets freaked out when the Wolf Man attacks him, basically.
Yeah. It's like, no. This talking Ottoman, perfectly fine.
Yeah,
But oh God, Larry Talbot's coming down the stairs.
yeah,
Now I'm freaked out.
yeah, exactly. Um, so 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 the Beast is just losing his mind, like, what are you doing? And
Which, by the way, is a rational reaction.
yeah, and then yes, just gets furious and takes Maurice and locks him up in his dungeon.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Again,
castle. It
again, it's
stands
a
to reason there's a
castle.
dungeon.
It has
Yeah.
a dungeon. It's not a. Again, we have no proof that this is any sort of like princely castle, so or like any sort of monarchy style castle. So it having a dungeon means he was the bad dude.
Yeah.
Because again, you would have a dungeon in a castle where it's where all of the politics is going down. Uh,
Yeah.
if you're
Well, I
just
mean,
if you just have a castle as your home,
here's the thing. Like, I assume that castles and dungeons are like when you buy a modern car now, and you're like, oh, cool, it's got Apple CarPlay. Like, that's standard, man. Can't be impressed by Apple CarPlay.
So it's just no matter what, it's like you bought your castle out of the Sears catalog, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's 42 bedrooms, 6 baths, a dungeon, and a watchtower. Like,
Oh, does it have a moat? Nah, you know the moat is optional. We don't need the. He's like talking to the his stuff. Like, do we need a moat? We don't need a moat, right?
no,
No
because
moat.
we're gonna build it on a mountain, so
Yeah.
it'd be hard to do the whole
And I got
moat
a rose garden
thing.
idea I want to
Yeah,
do, and it's like this
yeah,
whole thing. Yeah.
yeah. It's like I'm really thinking hedge maze. We're not doing a hedge maze, sir. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I want, yeah,
I want a hedge maze with
yeah,
some animals that come to life
yeah.
at different times.
But so yeah, Maurice gets locked up. We go
Yeah.
back. We go back to the small little town, and now we've got Gaston's plot to marry Belle,
Yeah.
um, which is an absolute terrible plot. Because it really it's just him setting up a wedding outside
Yeah.
and trying to trick her outside to marry him. Like like it, I don't know in what universe you think this is going to work, but he's so arrogant that
Yeah.
he thinks the like as long as it's as if he's thinking like it's like reverse vampire rules. Like I like invite her outside and you legally have to marry me now. You're at a
You legally
wedding.
have to marry me. Grab a wedding.
Yeah,
Come on, babe. I got this on Snapchat.
yeah, yeah. So
Like Gaston's totally like a guy who would do a promposal.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
he, he's the guy that to timestamp the episode that the
Yeah.
guy on Twitter that posted the video of him and his wife on a hike as she falls down the cliff,
Yeah.
like like, and then interviews her afterwards.
Yeah.
Like that's what Gaston would do. He would like he would be freaking out, but also at the same time like I got to get the views, man.
Yeah.
I got to get those likes.
JJ, so when this movie came out, Gaston physically reminds me of a character
Yeah.
from another piece of media that I loved very much.
Okay.
And that game was called Punch Out. And if you look at Super Macho Man and Gaston,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, Punch Out was '89, or was it
well,
'87?
not 87.
'87, and I think eight. Yeah, I think '89 would have been probably the re-release or something.
Yeah, 87 was Tyson's Punch Out. Then even before that was like the arcade Punch Out. So
Yeah. So, yeah,
100%.
you're not. You're not too far away from where they could have had some inspiration.
Yeah.
Because
I
this
mean,
is 90. This is '91, which means this movie was in production for at least a year. So
I'm telling you, next time you play Punch Out, you can't unsee it.
but so anyways, I did I did like the weird peephole invention
Yeah.
that like that because it worked. It was just
Yeah.
it was just like a periscope, but it worked. Like
Yeah.
and it didn't like do something wacky like it explode when when the door shut or something. It just worked. So
Didn't shoot Steve out.
yeah. Um, yeah, so Gaston's trying to woo her and trying to convince her to marry her. It's like this is your dream come true.
And then he convinces the whole town, like, yeah, now she's going to go for it, you guys. And they're like, okay.
Yeah,
We've got nothing else going on except for the plague. Let's do this.
yeah, cool. This is like we don't got much else to live for. So this is about just so guys, this is what we got. I like in the opening song with Belle, you have that incredibly frazzled mom with the kids yelling, "I need 6 eggs." And
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I always see her. It's like she looks absolutely defeated, just crying about needing 6 eggs.
Yeah. I think that's a meme now with
Oh.
moms. Like my cousin who has like 5 kids like that. Like I relate to her. Like okay,
Yeah. Uh,
at some point you had a part to play in that, hon.
yeah. But so yeah, so but she just embarrasses Gaston after all this, like opens the door and he falls out into the mud pit that I guess is right outside that door.
Yeah, just happens to be there.
Just happens to be there with LeFou on the bank of this mud pit,
Yeah,
priming the band. And that's
it,
when the switch flips for Gaston, where it stops being about this sort of lustful "I gotta get her" and more into a, well, now I have to actually, like, to save face here, I have to get her.
I have a rev to protect.
Yeah. Um, and so you get um, and so then you shortly thereafter get the horse Philippe returning without Dad, and Belle obviously freaking out about this. And
But why though?
look, she's very clearly easily affected by Stockholm
Yeah,
syndrome. So the horse knows exactly how to get back there. So there is no uh, like her journey out to the castle for the first time. It's
yeah,
just, and then like star wipe, there she is.
yeah.
Um, so so she finds her dad, and Beast is like, "Oh, great! Now there's two of you." like, you people just leave me alone.
He's by the way, he's been in this digit for like what, like maybe half a day or he's already like
Yeah, he's knocking on heaven's door, and
yeah.
he's been there for, as far as we can tell, very little time has
Like,
passed.
like you've been here for 45 minutes. How do you have pneumonia already?
It's like I realize that it's probably not the cleanest part. I mean, it is a castle with a giant wolf man roaming about, and
Sure.
I can't imagine very much else going. Like, yeah, okay, the feather duster is alive,
Yeah. But
but
she can only do so much.
only so much.
Yeah.
Um, I can't imagine those chamber pots when you're a giant wolf man are that easy to handle.
Yeah.
So, uh,
I I
so,
assume he
so
just throws it out the window.
I, he probably just lets himself out like a dog. I think. I
Uh,
mean,
why do you think the rose garden is so like
so blooming. It's
yeah.
just a gorgeous garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so this is where they make the deal where
I've ruined the movie for myself.
that's all you're gonna think of.
Hollywood. I'm just thinking of like the the something there song and Belle just outside. Maybe. And she looks over and he just hunkered down in the corner.
Yeah,
Don't look at me while I'm making.
it's just her trying to nonchalantly ignore it, but can't.
I just hear the sound of like him covering it with dirt.
Like, yeah, when your dog kicks up some dirt.
Yeah.
This is we've ruined this movie. It was going to be high up on the list, but
No, now it's higher.
um,
Anyway.
anyway, they make the swap here. It's
Yeah.
she agrees to stay behind while Maurice gets to go free. Um, so he's like, all right. So it's like, whatever.
Maurice doesn't put up a big fight.
No, Maurice is like, what? No, all right, see ya. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
um, so
Take my spinstery daughter, I guess.
yeah, so so it's like, and in like, I forget, it was like in some of the other versions and stuff, it's like she has sisters, and like,
Huh.
and it is like, you could take my most beautiful daughter or something, like in
Yeah.
some instances and stuff. It's like, Maurice,
Yeah.
you're creep.
You're
Uh,
a dirtbag, Maurice.
but Anyways, so now Bells is where we uh just her acclimating herself to the surroundings.
Yeah.
Um,
This is where Gaston's trying to give, or sorry, again, I keep calling him Gaston. Lumiere
yeah,
tries to give the Beast etiquette lessons
yeah,
to like, she's the one, man,
yeah.
because she's literally the only one.
She's the only one that's been able to look at you for more than 4 minutes and not just go screaming back into the
Yeah.
woods. So let's try to make this work. It's our one shot. Literally, it's our one shot. Your birthday, your 21st birthday is in a few weeks here, or a few days. I don't know. Again, passage of time have no like foothold as to where we're at.
And
Christmas happens at some point. That much we
yeah.
know.
Well, and also this has like one of my favorite parts of the movie where it's like he's just like he's inviting her to go have dinner with him. Like, Lumiere's like, yeah, be gentle, and she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, then starve. And I, as a parent, when my kids don't want to eat, boy, I feel it.
Yeah, then she will starve.
She doesn't eat with
I
me. She doesn't eat at all.
I love the scene where she's invited to dinner and she's agreed to come, or was like, no, you will come down at 1 p.m. And he's pacing back and forth in front of the fire on all fours like a dog.
Yeah,
Like throughout the rest of the movie, he's on his hind legs this entire
yeah,
time. Except this one time where he's like anxious and he's like pacing back and forth like a dog.
yeah.
It's a funny visual, and I like
He
that.
spins in circles and lays down.
Yeah, yeah. He fluffs the ottoman that's barking.
Yeah, he he does biscuits on it.
Yeah. But I always I'm jumbling things up because I know like we're going to have the she's wandering around and finds the West Wing that she's not supposed to be going into.
Yep.
We
Aaron
get
Sorkin's The West Wing.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
well, this is no thanks.
It's just but it's late era's President John Goodman.
Yeah.
And then,
She's like,
uh,
Rob Lowe has some stuff I don't agree with. Getting out of here.
um, but so you would get the "Be Our Guest" song, which
Yeah.
is like it's
Hey.
funny because like it's not the biggest song from this movie, but it's still bigger than most songs in
Yeah.
other movies. Like the Beauty and the Beast song is like the e-ticket song,
Yeah.
and this is like the a-ticket song. If
But
you're going,
it's hard to argue with any songs in this movie being like some of the best Disney songs ever.
yeah, because the Belle intro song's great. Beauty and the Beast is great. The Gaston song is super fun.
Yeah.
And Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest is probably the like iconic. I don't even want to say iconic because man, that Beauty and the Beast song like really permeated pop culture in a different way.
Did I didn't ask you, did you see Filler Magic?
Yes,
So
yes,
you saw the Donald Duck thing with the beer. It was kind of fun.
yeah, yeah,
I loved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Spell Her Magic at used to be just at Disney World. And I think Tokyo or one of those Hong Kong or one of the other ones just opened up at California Adventure, and it's
A
got
3D experience with Donald Duck.
yeah, it's a 3D Donald Duck Fantasia using pre-existing Disney songs. So it's got um, the Little Mermaid, part of your world,
Be our
uh,
guest.
Be Our Guest, uh, I Just Can't Wait to Be King,
Whole
and
new world.
Whole New World. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And so this is in there and Donald's like,
Yeah, trying to enjoy the food while this is all going
yeah.
on. But yeah, the Be Our Guest song's great, and it's got a lot of flair to it.
Yes. And there's a parody that JJ and I love.
See my vest
Yes.
from The Simpsons. Uh,
Which we referenced back in the 101 Dalmatians episode. If you,
yes, so it's more fitting here than that one, even though the
yeah,
episode is the song is very much. Um, I do like it when Bart starts singing.
mm-hmm.
But
Made of real gorilla chest.
yeah, like my loafers, former Gophers. um, beret of poodle on my noodle. I just remember every single um, but yeah, yeah, it's a great song. It holds up pretty well in the live action one.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the problem that you'll have because I talk about it when we next week a little more in depth. But I just saw Aladdin yesterday when record as of recording, and it's fine. Uh, I think it's better than what most of the reviews you'll see are, but it has its problems, and I think a lot of that is it loses some of its flair
Mhm.
by not being animated. Um, like I think the "Be Our Guest" song held up really well in Beauty and the Beast live action,
Yeah, it does.
unlike the Prince Ali song uh, in the live action Aladdin loses something by not being animated uh, because it doesn't have the genie being as like animated.
It's
Like
swapping bodies and
Floppy's one. Like there is a moment where he does, but it's a very simple one where it's just him dressed as a woman.
yeah,
But that's sort of the extent of it. It's not him pretending turning into kids and other
or
town members and
turning
stuff.
into the Rose Parade people.
Yeah, but like so it loses some of that. It loses some of its heart and core that way. But I think it translated well in the live action.
Yeah, I mean,
This
there's a similarity, heavy CG work,
yeah
and I think it's really impressive in this movie. Like watching, like you think, put yourself in that 1990,
yeah
91 headspace.
yeah.
This is an impressive looking scene.
I mean just coming off of the Rescuers Down Under, which would have been the previous movie,
Yeah.
like it's night and day.
Oh yeah.
Like in Rescuers Down Under,
Even from Little Mermaid, it's night and
yeah,
day.
and Rescuers Down Under wasn't some sort of like cheap fare. I mean, that was a fully digital movie with CG and everything. And
Hmm.
but this movie though looks like an achievement. So like the the sort of digital effects and stuff you get with this, particularly with the Be Our Guest scene, with a lot of like the synchronized nonsense that's going on and like highly choreographed dance routine stuff that's going on, like really benefited from a like this digital future we're living in now.
Yeah.
Because think about how hard that would have been with a very 50 years ago with a much more traditional hand drawn.
If they had done it when Walt originally thought about it.
Yeah, if it was going to be they were thinking about this movie after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a success, which tells you anything. Like this movie would have
It,
suffered. Like
it
it would have been a completely different movie. Like
yeah.
100%. I don't even think it would have been a musical. Um, because I mean, we think of music with Disney stuff, but old Disney movies weren't musicals. They just had
No.
music. Um, they
It
weren't
wasn't
really.
until the modern era that they were really
Yeah,
musicals.
it wasn't until we're at this point now
Yeah.
where Little Mermaid was a musical.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a musical. Aladdin's a musical. Lion King is a musical. You know,
Hercules is a musical.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but like the other ones, it was just like there was a song. Whether it be When You Wish Upon a Star, which just Jiminy Cricket just doing a thing or
Or
something.
Hi Ho, or
Oh yeah,
Someday My Prince Will Come, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was yeah, and a lot of them are just
Fantasia is a musical, though.
yeah.
That's
Fantasia's
one that's
yeah,
actually a musical.
yeah, but 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 it's more of a concert. Like that was like it was a
Yeah.
concert feature. So it's like it's not even really a musical where it's just a musical performance from start to finish. Like you wouldn't go to see a Bruce Springsteen concert and say, I'm gonna go to the musicals tonight. It's
Yeah.
like I saw a musical last night starring
It's called Dancing in the Dark. It's showing at the
uh, but
off Broadway.
yeah. um, I did see a trailer for a Bruce Springsteen based musical coming soon to theaters. So
I
that's,
would probably go see that.
that's why that's on my mind. Uh,
Yeah.
talk about it later. But so yeah, so then but show you go through all this. She goes in the West Wing. She finds the rose. Beast loses his mind.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bad spell if you can just accidentally make it just go live.
Yeah.
Like it's like the rose will on your 21st birthday when the last petal falls. That's it. Or if some jackass wanders into here and just starts shaking the rose, that accounts too.
Well, I mean, also at the same time, maybe her touching it wouldn't do anything. He's just so paranoid about the
Yeah,
rose.
yeah,
He's like, "Don't touch my rose!
yeah,
Don't touch my death rose!"
yeah. So, she has no idea what the hell is up with this rose. He scares the crap out of her. Uh,
Yeah,
she goes bolting into the woods, and there's those wolves again.
there's
Those
those
pesky
wolves.
wolves.
That's
Uh,
the most difficult part of the Genesis game. God, I hated that wolf level.
but yeah, Beast saves the day and gets big old nasty wound on
Mm,
his arm. It's a very fun scene of her trying to like put iodine or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
or whatever modern medicine they have back then.
yeah, whatever the
Like,
rubbing alcohol
she's
is.
like, I'm gonna crush some herbs into it.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
cool.
it hurts. It's like, well, if you stopped moving.
Yeah, what you get for saving my life, you moron.
um, but yeah, so like this is where they sort of connect finally. Like, all right,
They
listen.
become friends here.
Yeah, they're like, all right, listen. We're both in a bad place here. Where you seem like there's actually some like something going on under there, and
It's almost like there's something there that wasn't there before.
yeah, and so
Transition to.
transition to pouting Gaston.
Yeah.
um, uh, Ben's just a big old stick in the mud because Belle just won't immediately marry him on the
Yeah.
spot. Suddenly, shotgun wedding almost like.
Yeah.
Um, so this is where you have LeFou and everyone cheering him up with the hit Gaston song, um, which
Which, wow, jinxed her.
yeah, um, they went for it with this song.
I'm going to say it, JJ. I
Yeah,
like the live action version of this song
I
better.
I think the live action one, I think the singing is more enjoyable in the live action one,
Yeah.
and I
Luke
think
Evans can hold it too, man.
yeah, I think Josh Gad is a really good LeFou.
Oh, yeah.
he,
Oh, yeah.
he he nails it, and
Yeah.
I feel like the song feels bigger in this live action version.
Yeah.
Like it's still a great song here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I like this song is like the one that as a kid stuck with me,
Yeah.
just because of how silly it is.
Well,
Um,
we're also in the period now where the villains are getting really good songs. Like
yeah,
we had Poor Unfortunate Souls, and we have this one. Then we have,
yeah,
you know, we have Jafar's version of Prince Ali.
yeah,
Then we have
yeah,
Be Prepared. So yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of fun villain songs.
yeah. Um, so yeah, you get some. This is where the villains are becoming more than just uh, uh, like a induction system for evil. Like it's
Yeah,
not. It's like there's actually a character there these
yeah.
days. Even though it's relative. Even though Gaston is a relatively two-dimensional villainy character.
He's a dumb jock.
He's a dumb jock, but that's more than you can say for a lot of early Disney villains.
Yeah,
Who are just like, what is it? She's a witch, and so she's just by default evil. So
you didn't
like,
invite me to her birthday party.
yeah,
Spindles.
yeah. If like having Gaston being just a misogynistic jerk,
Yeah.
like especially in this time frame and given like who he is, that makes sense. So you know,
You know what? You know what's funny though about like how he is such a misogynist.
yeah,
When you go to the parks and they have the cast member as Gaston,
hmm,
the bridal parties, because there's always bridal
yeah,
parties,
yeah,
they freaking gravitate toward Gaston.
oh yeah.
Gaston! Like, really, girls?
Well,
Really?
like
Okay.
because
Yeah.
like because intentionally in every version of it, he is drawn or cast, whether it be in the park or live action movie, as an incredibly handsome man.
And,
Um,
and, and the cast member who does it is usually pretty good about like
yeah,
hamming it up.
yeah. He like every time I've seen a Gaston, it's like he really is good at. They're always really good at walking the fine line of being charming and a jerk.
Yeah.
Like because they don't want him to be a jerk. They just want him to be conceited.
Yeah.
Which by default makes you a jerk because you care more about yourself than the people take.
Yeah.
Like so you say something and he's like, it's the whole like I like the Han Solo I know kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like because you can't be the misogynistic jerk in the park because
No.
that won't work for the Disney way.
I think we've all seen that video where like somebody like challenges him to a push-up contest or something like
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
he does it, and he gets that.
yeah,
Yeah, let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, they hire a thick, muscular man like to
Yeah,
be Gaston. Like it's the only way you can pull that off. It's just like how when they cast Peter Pan, it's they cast a slightly smaller, more effeminate looking man to be
yeah.
Peter Pan or like a younger Um, they do really good job. There was when we were down at Disneyland a couple weeks ago on Twitter, people were freaking out because they thought Johnny Depp was in the park as um, Jack Sparrow
Right.
because he does that. And it was
Yeah,
around the time he usually does that. But then it was just like everyone's like, no, that's just the character.
yeah,
He just looks exactly like Johnny Depp, like
yeah.
when he's in makeup. Like they just cast them incredibly well for the most part.
For the
Uh,
most part, the only one I saw down there that I was like, huh, the guy who played Hawkeye was just some dude.
yeah, just very boring. The guy that played
Cap.
Cap is okay.
Yeah,
He gets to wear a helmet, so
yeah.
he gets to hide that a little bit. The kid that they have in the Spider-Man costume, he's incredibly good. Like you never
Yeah,
see him, but his voice sounds exactly like Tom Holland's.
yeah.
And for all I know, it was. I mean,
Could have been Tom
it
Holland.
could have been Tom Holland.
J and A were also like trying to find Captain Marvel because we love Captain Marvel. But the girl who plays her is cute. She's super cute.
yeah. Um, people are like, it's adorable because, like, you could tell that she really struck a chord with uh, little girls,
Yeah.
because you see them in costume there, and
Oh yeah. It was
you see big lines at her and stuff too. The guy that
it,
they have
it,
the guy that they have playing Loki is incredibly good at like the costume is better than any of the other costumes in the park, and he looks like Hiddleston. So
I wish I'd seen the Loki. Yeah,
yeah,
that's.
yeah, I was impressed with him. Yeah, they do a good job at casting that
Yeah.
stuff. So
But
for the
anyway, the
most part,
Gaston song.
yeah, the Gaston song great. And then this is where Maurice is like, ugh, everyone.
He burst in, flailing his arms like a
Yeah, yeah,
one of those guys that those inflatable things that must have a car dealership.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and then he's just like, oh my god, my Belle was kidnapped by a beast, and everyone's making fun of him and everything. Uh,
Crazy old Maurice.
yeah, everyone already thinks he's crazy, and then he's in there yelling, uh, ranting and raving about a monster in the woods that kidnapped his daughter. Um, but yeah, so he is unable to convince them that this is what happened. Um,
Gee, I wonder why.
yeah, I do like Gaston's play after this though, because it really is like evil, where he goes to the warden of the asylum and basically bribes him to commit Maurice because of
Yeah,
this story. Um,
the warden, voiced by Tony J,
yeah,
who does a lot, who's done a lot of Disney. Yeah,
yeah. I just like, it comes across as a like, Belle won't marry me, so I'm going to have her dad committed. To be fair, in a universe where this doesn't exist, a man ranting and raving about his daughter being kidnapped by a giant wolf man probably should be looked into.
yeah,
You should at least get him somewhere asylum adjacent or something.
yeah.
Have a doctor look at him because that's not right. We know that the beast is real. He knows
Right.
the beast is real, but in this, at this point in history, nobody knows that magic is real and has created this.
And to be fair, Maurice has a track record with the
Of being,
villagers of
yeah,
just being like
yeah,
a
yeah. They
kook.
already think. they already think he's a kook, and now he's like ranting and raving in a local bar about
Yeah.
what's happening. But
That when you break it down that way, ranting and raving local, this government spying on us.
yeah, yeah, it's like yeah, he's a step away from yelling about chemtrails. Uh,
Yeah,
like
he's not
there's not
saying it's aliens,
what's
but
an
it's
airplane? What are you talking about, Marie?
yeah. Merlin told me. Who's Merlin?
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, Marvin.
yeah. Um, so yeah, so you have this. Next, you get back to the castle, and they're really hitting it off these days. Again,
They've
not,
they've moved on
not
from the friend zone.
yeah, not again. Absolutely unsure as how much time has passed.
Yep.
Seems like enough to where they are having a really, really romantic night, with their own original song and everything.
Yeah.
uh,
The rest of the castle looks like garbage, but this ballroom is immaculate.
Immaculate, and yeah, they Beast is being tailored up to have a nice coat, and getting a makeover for his thing, and Belle's getting her iconic dress for it,
Yeah.
and the Beauty and the Beast song, which is like the song.
Yeah.
This is the main song. This is the main event. This
Some
particular
would call it a monster hit.
yeah.
This is the Angela Lansbury version, though,
Yes.
not
Uh,
the
not the
Peebo
not
Bryson Celine
yeah
Dion version.
This is the movie version, not the soundtrack version.
Yeah.
Um, Still great, and
So great.
Angela Lansbury doing a great job on singing
It's
the song.
and it's fun to think about how she, like, at this point it'd be like what, 30 years since she'd done a Disney film.
Yeah,
Yeah, 30, maybe 30 something odd years since Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have this really nice moment together, and like clearly falling for one another. Um, Beast gives her the magic mirror
Yeah.
that lets her see her father whenever she wants to, except like the one time she's like, okay, well here, oh, my father's dying,
Yeah.
and is about to be locked up for being a crazy loon. Um,
So Beast is like, go to him.
yeah, just but keep the mirror so you can remember me, kind of thing. Um,
Remember me.
wrong movie. We'll get to that
Okay.
one. Wait, no, we won't get to that one.
It's a Pixar film. We
Yeah,
know we won't.
we won't.
I
Well,
will
I mean,
sneak. I will sneak hook it. Not in this
not
installment of the show.
not in this season.
Yeah.
And who knows what the future holds. Um, I intentionally want to keep away from certain things from annexes because like it'd be fun to do a Toy Story one, especially with the fourth one coming out. But at the
Yep.
same time, like there's enough meat in the Toy Story bones to just do a whole like run of this as
Yep.
of Pixar movies. Um,
Yeah.
so like I'd be a little more picky and choosy about things. Like I think like we could have done a Who Framed Roger Rabbit episode. Probably should. Like it doesn't really fit in anywhere else.
Who says we won't?
Yeah, So there's some things, but yeah, we'll get to some other stuff later. Um, so yeah, so she's going back into town to find her dad. Um, and this is where the village now finds out that the beast is real because she shows them in the mirror. Like, look, he's a real thing. This is the thing that happened. Don't know why she would do
Yeah.
that. Like, it's like what's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
if you just let Maurice sort of chill out now that you're back, he could probably get uncommitted at some point.
Yeah.
Or they
But
could release him into your care or something now that you're back. But instead, you know full well that this is going to cause an issue, and
yeah.
it does.
And we get another great song here.
Yes, you get another great song.
The mirror just spewing ectoplasmic energy as
Yeah.
just on.
Yeah, what a weird, like it's never shown any like like outward magical abilities other than a glow.
Maybe because it's him holding it.
It's now being his evil energy is making the
Yeah.
mirror.
It's like it's a power ring.
Yeah. Yeah. he turns it into a giant sledgehammer.
Yep.
And, uh, but so yeah, so now uh,
We get Kill the Beast.
yeah, we get to kill the beast because at this point, like Gaston, like, oh, you've fallen in love with him,
Yeah.
so now I'm jealous and I'm gonna kill this thing. I'm
This
already a hunter.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Kill the Beast is like low key one of my favorite Disney
It,
songs,
it's
just
really
because it's so like his little like where he's just
yeah,
getting them wound up.
yeah, yeah. It's like yeah, it's like a campaign trail speech,
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah, it's yeah, it's just really is him just riling up the crowd to go kill Frankenstein's monster. I mean the
yep,
beast. Torches in hand,
yeah.
charging the
It
castle.
is it is absolutely that.
Yeah,
Then
pitchforks and torches like marching towards the castle.
I did like the little touch in the live action version where LeFou is like, yeah, there's a monster. It's not the Beast though. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, so um, was yeah. So they're off, and then like they're locked up, so they can't do anything about it. They get um, but Chip helps
surprise.
me out because Chip snuck in with them.
Chip stowed away in Belle's satchel.
Yeah, her messenger bag.
Yeah,
It's like yeah,
her overnight bag as she was doing the walk of shame away from the castle.
yeah.
Sorry, what?
Um, um, and so yeah, they get free, and then they have to go back to the castle. Um, again, this is another one of those things. Again, don't know how much time has passed, and clearly the castle isn't that far away.
No,
um,
it's if they can get there in a night.
yeah. So again, I have no idea why they don't know that castle's there.
uh,
Why nobody's ever thought about looking at it. Like it's a prime piece of real estate out there. You'd think Gaston, with all of his arrogance, would want to try to claim that property as himself if they just assume it's an empty castle.
Is well, here's my question: Is does this take place the same night as their dance, or is
I
this
can
like maybe the
again.
next evening?
It is assumed that he gives her the mirror the same night as the dance, and
Yeah,
she sees her dad the same night as the dance, and so she runs off. So I don't know how long it takes her to get back there, but again, it can't be that long because
no,
they make it back to the castle in a single night.
right,
Like everyone's marching to the castle with their torches in hand, so obviously it's not that far away. So
no,
obviously the curse extends more than what the stained glass story wants to tell you.
yeah,
Like, but it's just one of those stupid little things. Like you can't get too concerned about it because it's a cartoon. I mean, like
yeah.
at the end of the day, so what?
This is
Most of
this is the reason he didn't win the Oscar, JJ.
yeah,
That
uh,
one thing, like, oh yeah,
yeah. So you get so yeah, they go to the castle, and it's just like yeah, it's just a big battle scene at this castle. It's pretty good.
uh,
It's a
yeah,
pretty good battle scene with
like
like
the
all of the stuff alive in the castle fighting
yeah.
back against these villagers and
When I was watching it a few days ago with my son, and he was watching this, and he goes, "Dad, the things are going to destroy the people." Like, yep, the things are going to destroy the people
yeah,
because they are the things.
they are the things, yeah,
Yeah,
not the thing. It's not like Wilford Brimley locked into a shed somewhere.
nope.
Well, but,
It's not the furry guy listening
yeah,
to pray.
um, and it's not Ben Grimm. So,
No,
um, but yeah, so yeah, just a battle scene at the castle. Gaston, it's finally get the um, Gaston Beast showdown where he like Beast is just given up, like whatever.
yeah, like
Go
they've
ahead,
been.
yeah,
This
go
is our
ahead,
start.
yeah,
This is our Star K-97 moment.
yeah,
They've been
go
milking
ahead,
it, brother.
yeah, just go ahead, just shoot me, and they shoots him, and he like he reacts like, oh my god, you shot me.
You shot me. How could you shoot me? He has a bow and arrow aimed at you, dummy.
He looked at a bow and arrow, aimed at you, you turn to him, and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
But he won't. He ain't gonna do it though.
Yeah,
Oh my God, he did it!
it's that old. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Says stabbing victim.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
I
which
can't believe he ate my faces.
yeah, uh, yeah, but then like Gaston stabs Beast anyways. Like
Yeah,
gets a knife out and stabs him, and um, because Beast got the upper hand on Gaston, but like didn't kill him,
yeah.
which is a very
Beast
like
shows mercy.
yeah, which ended up getting him almost killed again, or basically
Yeah,
did get him killed. I mean,
yeah.
he stabs him and he dies. I mean, the Beast
He does
dies,
that.
but but then Gaston losing his footing and falling to his grisly death.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He just Bucky Barnes is off the side of that castle.
yeah, assuming he's gonna fall in one of those spires or something. Like it's yeah, not a good way to go for Gaston. He goes out like a
Yeah,
chump.
yeah.
Um, and
I,
so
I mean, I know everybody. You watch it, you want to see the Beast maul him to death, but
yeah, yeah, I think it's better that Gaston's hubris got him killed,
yeah.
really. Um, Overconfidence. Like you won, but you were defeated. Like you could have just accepted it, but you couldn't, and your hubris to get your one last shot in cost you your life. Um, and the beast dies, and Belle's crying and is ups, admits her love for him. And she fixes and cures it. Like there's the curse is gone. Like you get the magical bippity boppity boo.
You have light shooting out of his toes somehow.
Yeah, it's a weird transformation scene.
It's like I know you've never seen Doctor Who, but it's very like when the
Rege-
Doctor regenerates.
Regeneration scene. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like that. I don't know, something about it starting on his foot is somehow upsetting, and I don't know, like,
yeah,
because it's a weird animation to go from like hoof to foot in like this
yeah.
really slow, fleshy.
Listen, like I
Yeah,
know the knife one was bad, but he had some really gnarly hammer toe,
yeah,
so I had to take care of that first.
yeah. So yeah, you get um, the curses undone, or you just get the
Yeah,
happy like, hooray! Slowly show everything returning back to normal, introducing all the characters in their human forms and how they kind of look like the things that
they're
they got turned into.
yeah,
Um,
and now the sun's out for the first time,
yeah,
really,
yeah.
since yeah,
Um, I always do think it was funny where it was like the feather duster, like that was perverted, like at times because it was like rubbing the feather duster on like faces and stuff. It's like that's your
yeah.
dress. Like you're shoving his head up your dress.
Hey man, don't king
Yeah.
shamer.
Yeah, but then like later on, like when they reintroduce her, and she just has a feather duster.
She
It's
just
just
happens to
so
be
funny.
like a French maid,
Yeah, with the exact same feather duster that her dress was. It's basically like, all right,
and Cogsworth is dressed like a
yeah. I mean, again, once this curse is broken and everything, it's like this is clearly some sort of monarchy.
yeah,
How does nobody remember any of this? Like clearly the curse wiped like in the live action one. Clearly the curse wiped everyone's memory.
yeah,
And now it's like restored
yeah,
because like he's a prince now, like he's actually a prince, but
yeah.
like of what we still have zero idea.
Oh, yeah, I'm cured. I'm a human again. Now, time to go like burn villages and steal and demand taxes and tribute.
Yeah, so yeah, you get and it ends with another stained glass.
Yeah,
They lived happily ever after.
and the reprise of
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast. Yeah.
Cut to credits with the iconic song.
Will Smith rap over the credits
Yeah, there you
of
go.
Beauty
Yeah,
and the Beast. It was weird because it was 1991.
yeah, it's
And
weird. Well, I mean, he was doing Nightmare on My Street here.
yeah, so it's like it's not really a Disney thing yet. I don't know why,
All right, whatever. Yeah.
but yeah.
Uh,
But, so
no, Beauty and the Beast, the Celine Dion, Peebo Bryson duet. I think this is that's my wife because she's a bigger Celine Dion fan than I am obviously. And she's like, no, she'd already kind of established her career by this point,
Yeah,
but this is like her big like, she was in her early 20s when she did this.
yeah.
This
So
song is a soft rock staple, or
yes,
easy
yeah.
listening station staple.
You and you and wedding staple, like you hear
Yeah,
it frequently at weddings. Because you, no matter what, you still also always have to make fun of the husband. Uh,
yeah, like the
because
dumb husband doesn't know
um,
load dishwasher.
yeah, it's just, there's suds everywhere. Also,
Oh,
yeah, it's like yeah, the kids still die with the dad in
yeah,
charge. Also, he's a gross beast man.
yeah. I did like the little thing in the live action version where he and Belle are dancing and Emma Watson goes like, "Hey, have you ever thought about growing a beard?"
Yeah, like
Uh,
it's a little like it's like him being a normal human being is super off-putting to her now.
yeah, just like, yeah, man.
I do like that the live action, like not the live action, the human beast, not a particularly handsome
He
man.
looks like one of the Von Erichs,
Yeah,
JJ.
he does. Like Gaston is a much better looking man
Yeah,
than like
and Belle's like,
you think they would have made him like at like as a like I don't know, make him look like Gaston but olive skinned or I don't know something.
yeah,
Like, but no, it's just like
do a palette swap.
yeah, yeah, just like he's player two Gaston.
Yeah,
Um,
but no, he,
but no, he's just kind of a homely looking dude for the most part. Like I have no word, like I have no reason to talk, but you know,
yeah,
it's like
by
it's a
Disney standards,
by Disney standards, like yeah, he's like for a prince.
yeah,
It's like yeah, it's very yeah, like not
Belle's out of his league. Put it that way.
yeah, yeah. Um, so the Beast, the design of the Beast. Uh, he's got the body of a bear, like his arms and body are a bear. They
Mhm.
gave him the ears of a deer. They gave him sort of the brow of a gorilla.
Mhm.
His sort of like lower jaw, lower head, like teeth, mane, all of that stuff is lion, and they gave him boar tusks, and they gave him the like lower half, legs and tail and everything is wolf. So
He's like some Dr. Moreau
yeah,
looking.
it's some bad Full Metal Alchemist alchemy went on here uh, to, uh, to make this creature, but yeah, he's a little bit of everything. It works great because it's not unappealing. Like a lot of when you see other beasts,
Yeah,
they make
like the
them as
one we're
good.
talking about, the Good Times one.
Yeah, the Good Times one, or even the Ron Perlman one, or whatever. It's like it's like they make them like okay, you can only do so much with Ron Perlman. I get it. At the
Yeah,
same time, it's like um, yeah, they make him unappealing.
right.
So like and I like for the story, I get like him being unappealing is sort of the crux. Like she's still able to fall in love with the
He's
heart of this creature despite his horrible looks, but he doesn't look
he's gonna be somewhat cuddly.
yeah, but like he's not disgusting in this.
No,
Like you look at him, it's like, oh god, I'd be terrified if I saw that in
yeah,
reality.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, but they also made him like appealing. Like it's not like you look like you want to see more of the beast. It's like you're happy when it's like, oh, he's not like shrouded in the shadows or anything most of the time
Well,
or something.
I mean, at this point, Disney's like, we got to merch this guy out.
Yeah, this is
We need to
1990.
sell plushes
Yeah,
and dolls.
yeah,
So,
it's a good voice too. That
yeah,
the beast voice is really really good.
yeah.
And the voice acting all around is A+ on
It
this.
is really good. Yeah.
I don't think anyone is bad. I think
No,
everyone is pulling their weight, and it's great. Like um, every character is very good. Um, so
even like the bit characters and like the I need
yeah,
6 eggs lady or how is your wife? Those are all just good little
yeah, just
well
good.
done.
Yeah, exactly. Just nice little character bits. So yeah, as we were talking about earlier, they were gonna make this one. a couple of different times, the 30s and 50s, twice. Like, so they wanted to do one in the 30s, never happened. They were thinking about doing one in the 50s, never happened because the one came out in 46. Um, but then Roger Rabbit came along and changed everything for the studio.
Change the game.
Yeah. Um, uh, yeah, they resurrected it around this time. So I forget there was something. Um, oh, it was going to be the same director. It's like the director of animation for Roger Rabbit, which is Richard Williams. And the funny thing about Richard Williams is that he had his passion project that he was constantly working on of The Thief and the Cobbler.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't accept uh, Beauty and the Beast because he wanted to keep working on The Thief and the Cobbler. Um, so, not the best move for him, but
No, but it worked out
I'm
fine for
trying.
everybody else.
Like he started working on that movie in like the 80s, and like it didn't fully get released until like 95.
Good
Like
God.
kind of
It-
kept like, but like it even starts before that. Like that's when it went into full production. But he started working on it in the 60s, and like started doing like some pre-production and early production stuff in the 70s, and then like by the 80s is where he was able to get money to actually make it. So then he started working on it, and it was like Warner Brothers picked it up and they're going to start working on it, and they're going to give him money for it. But then eventually they drop it, and then you get then he moves on to another another production company and stuff. It's like it took like this was just this guy's movie that he just constantly wanted to make and get out there, and you know
It was his
eventually,
Chinese democracy.
yeah, yeah, and he's had some fun um, he did a lot of animated short features in the 60s, and like he was like a director of like a Raggedy Ann and Andy thing in the 70s, and I think he did a I think I have to look at it. Yeah, there you go. Director, producer, and voice of Crooked Santa in the 1982 TV movie Ziggy's Gift. So
I would have watched that, but I was too.
yeah, um, but yeah, he was but so his big break was that he directed the animation parts of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and um, what was Tummy Trouble. He did Tummy
Mhm.
Trouble too, Roger Rabbit short, and
Right.
he was the voice of Droopy in
Okay.
both of those. So he he declined Beauty and the Beast to work on Thief and the Cobbler in India. Not again, not the best move, but move nonetheless. Um, uh, One of the interesting things for Beauty and the Beast is it does something that had never happened to a Disney animated feature before.
Hmm.
Any guess?
No, I don't. It's something to do with the soundtrack.
Nope. It was the first Disney animated feature to have a screenwriter.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, Most of these movies were always developed on storyboards. There was no traditional screenwriting situation. It
right.
was all storyboarded. That's just how they did it with Disney. Um, but they actually hired uh, somebody to come in and write a screenplay for Beauty and the Beast.
Adapt it from the
Yeah,
from the story.
um, and it was uh, uh, Linda Wolverton. She also did the screenplay for a lot of other Disney stuff. She did Lion King and recent stuff too, like Maleficent and stuff. So like she's she's significant in the
Yeah.
history of Disney stuff. Um, she is the first and only female screenwriter with a solo writing credit on $1 billion film.
Wow. And that'll be this one, right?
No, the live action Alice in Wonderland from France.
Ah.
So I don't. This movie hasn't made $1 billion.
I'm would surprised it hasn't.
It's only really had a couple of re-releases. You know, when it came out in the '90s, things weren't really reaching that price point because um, ticket sales are still relative. Ticket prices are still relatively low,
The
and
the DVDs and Blu-rays VHS sell really well.
they sell really well. It's a $1 billion movie in an overall sense, but a
Ah,
theatrical sense, no.
okay.
So, so yeah, so it had a screenplay, which is quaint for a Disney movie. Like,
Which
um,
is funny because you said it's a very paper thin plot too.
yeah, yeah, when you adapt a book to a
Yeah,
screenplay, it gets
and
weird
also,
because
and also it's a Disney movie, like so you only work with so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, it had some production issues. Surprisingly, Jeffrey Katzenberg didn't like the initial cut of the film,
Mhm.
a trend you tend to see with Jeffrey Katzenberg. So when he saw the original cut of the movie, the original storyboards, he was like, "Nope, start over." Um, and it wasn't like originally a musical. Like, like it wasn't until Little Mermaid was a success and The Rescuers wasn't. Kind of
Right.
you have some issues, um, but uh, but yeah, they wanted to make a musical out of it eventually. Um,
They knew this where the trend was heading was toward musical.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, so that's when you get um, Ashman and Menken involved.
Right.
Um, so you know they had written the score for Little Mermaid,
Hmm.
um, and they was like, we want you to take this movie and turn it into a Broadway musical. Like it is like Little Mermaid had some great musical numbers, bigger than that kind of thing. Um, so that's where it
Mission
that's
accomplished.
mission accomplished. Unfortunately, uh, very sad was Ashman, while making this movie, he just recently learned that he was dying. He had
Mhm.
AIDS, and so uh, it was a big deal at the time because this is '91. Um, AIDS is still, people are still weird about it. That like particularly at this point in time, like
Yeah, like
becoming
it's
more, it's becoming more understood, but at the same time, people are still. So it's like they kind of keep it on the down low with that
to
out of
to
respect.
this to this point we don't really have like like Arthur Ashe and Magic Johnson and Freddie Mercury, like
Yeah,
people that anybody could name who'd had
yeah,
AIDS.
yeah. So while working on this, and he at the time was working on Aladdin. Um, uh, he didn't want to do Beauty and the Beast. He only kind of did it. He reluctantly did it because again, he knew he was dying. Like, this is what we're gonna do. Um, this is like I'll do this. My health isn't doing great. Um, and Disney was very cool about it because they didn't make him travel. Because he wasn't doing well, and they really wanted.
Right.
They knew he was going to do a good job on this, so they moved the entire pre-production of this movie to London. Like, like
It's like basically to his backyard.
yeah, they not to London, but from London. I'm sorry, like
Right.
so pre-production was moved from London to him. I got that weird up because pre-production of this was in a Residence Inn in New York, because that's where he lived and that was close to his home, so he didn't have to travel much. Um, and that's where they were fixing the script out of a Residence Inn in New York.
Which
Um,
is kind of crazy to think about.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're retooling everything. They're fixing it to make it a more Broadway musical style thing. Um, and there's not that was the thing. It's like there's not very many characters in this movie, or in the book.
Right.
So that's where you get the like, let's just make the entire castle enchanted.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, so
Just to cheap out talks.
it's very sweet of Disney. Like they handled it really well,
Yeah.
and they weren't you know in a time where uh, most people would try, like a lot of studios probably would have pulled away a little stronger. Like they just committed to it because they knew that this is the right call for us, and he does good work, and so what? At the same
Yeah.
time, tell you what you want about um, Michael Eisner and Frank Wells. Like Frank Wells, was the reason Michael Eisner was able to be as successful as he was. But Michael Eisner wasn't a bad guy,
Yeah.
so he really did care about you know the industry as a whole, and he cared about you know people involved in it. It's just it circumstances happened that pushed him out of relevancy at the studio. So I mean, like, look at the stretch that we're going into. Like, this exists because of some of the decisions that he's made. Uh,
Right. Like we're in the pretty. This is the beginning of something really special. You say Little Mermaid was really, but yeah,
yeah,
something really special.
yeah. Now we're gonna go into like we're officially in blockbuster territory with Disney
Like
movies at this point.
you think about like the fact that okay, Disney in the last 10 years has acquired Marvel and 20th Century Fox, correct?
Yeah,
None of that happens without this period here we're going in.
yeah,
We're in.
and if inevitably I'm gonna get the theme park stuff on here
Yeah.
because one of the contention points, especially with Michael Eisner, was he wasn't good at that side of the Disney market. So while we're having this incredibly successful period of Walt Disney animated films and TV and um, live action movies and stuff, they're losing money hand over fist because the theme park stuff is getting out of hand. He's got Euro Disney, which is a big disaster. They're doing things like Disney Quest, and
Yeah.
they're doing things like they're trying to get a Midwest park open and all sorts of crazy. They're dealing with Tokyo and Hong Kong and all of this stuff. Like it all just like it's a mess, and they're cutting back at the theme parks that are already there. So like you're starting to see them taking a budget approach to things. You get California Adventure gets opened at this budget theme park that was supposed to be a much bigger thing because of bad decisions that he made.
Right.
So like you're making so much money this side and squandering it over here, and it created what should have been one of the most like positive forward growth moments of Disney, stymied it a little bit because of some genuinely bad decisions made unrelated to film or you know or personal vendettas that we're going to get to at some point.
Yeah.
With
Because Katzenberg's not around much longer.
Katzenberg's not much around much longer and becomes a major thorn in Eisner's side. And if Frank Wells is going to unfortunately lose his life shortly too, which is the turning point because you have Frank Wells dying, you have Katzenberg, Eisner having their massive falling out and the lawsuit that ensues, and you also have Eisner having a medical event.
Right.
So you know these are things that just makes Eisner tired, and things change forever after that. And it's coming up real quick, but not super quick. But we're gonna get there. Um, but yeah, so back to production of this one. So by 1990, everything's been finalized. Sort of the storyboarding and the script, or the script is done. So the storyboarding begins. So you have the production crew going from California to New York to get approvals from Ashman, and then back from New York to California. And but Disney never told them why this was how this was working. I would assume you could put two and two together. I can assume that Ashman wasn't looking great.
It feels like something's wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're never told, but again, I'm sure I'm sure it was water cooler talk. I'm sure it was a rumor that everyone worst kept secret kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Never told, but they all
Yeah.
knew. Yeah, so and it's the typical at this point in Disney. It is you've got um, the caps system coming out, like so. This is Pixar is partly responsible for this movie because of their um, software and everything. So,
And again, this is still Steve Jobs.
yeah, yes,
Yeah. He's still
Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is with Pixar up until like,
he joins Apple again.
not like I think after he's still partially there once even when Eisner's gone. Like, because the whole thing was he refused to work with Disney and sign a new contract because he hated Eisner.
Yeah.
So um,
That's a fun story too.
yeah, yeah. Um, this there is reused Disney footage in here.
Uh, uh, Sleeping Beauty.
Yep, the
Yeah.
final dance, the
Yeah.
finale of this one is yeah, it's just Aurora and Philip from Sleeping Beauty. Um,
Is that more like a budget thing or an homage?
um, it was a we're running out of time.
Ah,
It was this movie needs to be done, and let's just wrap it up. This is just the final scene. It's not like they did it to the big dance number in the middle. It was this. Um, so yeah, it's yeah, I love it. It's
me too.
they did some great work on this movie. It's got some fun, it's unfortunate. There's some sadness that goes into production of this, and Academy Awards and stuff. And Ashman never sees its release. Um,
They dedicate the movie to him though. So
they dedicate the movie to him. This movie opened in uh, let's see, it had its premiere in September, and it opened nationally in November. And let's see, when did gotta fight Ashman again down here? This is this is good radio, JJ. This is really good. Howard,
well, and this,
there he goes. And Ashman died in March of '91.
so he
So
never even saw the premiere. So
yeah, never made it.
he might have seen like a rough cut.
Even yeah, he would have seen the storyboards at least. I
Yeah,
mean, he was approving them and everything, and he might have seen some preliminary animation. But March with a September release.
and he's probably at this point like I'm not going to leave the house to go watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like
So
so this is very much a Christmas movie too, or a holiday film.
and they and the one that they premiered in September was a work print version. It wasn't the final print of the movie, so um, um, it was 70% complete. So there actually was the world premiere of this had pencil animation in it, which is weird for them, but
Yeah, that is where
yeah. And then they premiered the full version at Cannes Film Festival, and it had its uh, national debut in world opening in November 22nd. So
like
um,
right before Thanksgiving.
yeah, yeah, November 22nd. So right before Thanksgiving.
So you know, so this kind of gives you an idea. Like it did pretty well initially.
And it did have some. It had some. re-releases. Um,
Uh, I when were the re-releases?
they did an IMAX re-release
Oh, it's
uh,
right. They did. You're right.
in 2002. What was significant about the IMAX release is that they put in a whole new sequence of a deleted song into the movie.
Oh, yeah, which is now like in the Blu-ray cut if you get it.
Yeah, the "Human Again" song
Yeah,
made its
which
way.
I could take or leave honestly.
There's a reason it was cut out.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but yeah, so you got that, and then they re-released it again in 2010. Weirdly enough, as like a Disney sing-along version of the movie,
Yep.
hosted
Remember
by
that.
Jordan Sparks, which American Idol thing, because
Very very of its time.
yes, very Disney was cashing in hard on on the pop culture at the time. Um, and then they did a 3D version in 2010, um, which I saw that one. I saw the 3D version. Did you see the 3D version?
I never saw it in theaters.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I we got it for Christmas the following year on VHS from my aunt, and my sister proceeded to watch it twice a day, every day during
Yeah.
Christmas break.
That's yeah. So yeah, they did a yeah, came in like oh no, it was like yeah, 2000 and I now have to look it up again because I don't know if it was 2000. It's sometime early 2000s. They
Mhm.
did a re-release, and apparently didn't cost them very much to convert it to 3D, so it was like money in the bank kind of thing. Um,
Is there is like the steelbook version? Does it have that one on there?
no, I
Okay.
think they haven't done like the animated stuff, like the Pixar stuff. They'll do like some of the 3D versions out there. But like because they did
Mermaid and Lion
Beauty and the
King.
Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and Mermaid, and you can't get any of the 3D versions of those on
Yeah.
disc. Um, but yeah, they're good. Uh, they're they've re-released this one countless times on
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
This is like I think is this one of the first Diamond Edition ones or one of the last Diamond Edition ones?
Probably.
Yeah.
uh,
Probably to
it,
either one of those.
yeah, it was the second Diamond Edition.
Okay.
So,
After
and it just had
Snowblade.
its 25th anniversary edition in 2016.
Which it the fact that this movie is over 25 years old is
It's,
disturbing to me.
yeah. Here's an interesting. Upon its first week of release on home media, the film topped the Blu-ray sales chart and debuted number 3 in the Nielsen Video Scan First Alert chart. It was behind Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Out of the Shadows, so the it's the Bay Turtles 2,
Right.
and Civil War, Captain America: Civil War. So
So, so two of those are Disney films.
yeah, yeah. So two Disney and a Nickelodeon. So
Yeah.
unsurprisingly, when this came out, absolutely massive critical success. Uh,
Yeah.
like everyone loved this movie. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes right now, based on 113 critics, it's 94% on Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes,
As
and it's and
critic.
it's and it's like Metacritic, it's like 95. So it's
Yeah.
like because sometimes those skew a little bit. It'll be like it's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's like 64 on Metacritic because it's Rotten Tomatoes is just a pass fail. It's like if it's a 60, it's not rotten. If it's 50, it is rotten. So it's like if it's 60 and above, it counts as a one essentially. So, but
The
this is one of those ones where they line up. It's like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes and 95% on Metacritic. So
and of course the critical acclaim translated to it making history a few
yes,
months later.
and it's absolutely like let's see. Let's look at the yeah. Here we go. At the Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Picture, which is unheard of.
The
Uh,
first animated film.
there isn't a category for cartoons yet at the
No,
Academy Awards at this point in history, and there won't be for let's. This is 95, and I think the first one is there's 91. So about a decade from now is when they introduce the Academy Award, when Disney is pretty much out of contention for any of these.
Yep.
By the time they introduce that award, it's Pixar or DreamWorks. That's it.
Yep.
Like the Disney stuff is unworthy of of an Academy Award. But so yeah, this is nominated for Best Picture, Best Sound, Best Score, Best Original Song, um, and it won Best Original Song and Best Original Score. Um,
It
and
should have won Best Picture.
not only was it nominated for Best Original Song, it was nominated for Best Original Song 3 times at the Academy Awards.
It was Be Our
Be Our,
Guest.
Be Our Guest, Beauty and the Beast, and Belle were all
Yeah.
nominated for Best Song. Beauty and the Beast, obviously, is the one that won, which should have been. That's the right call for that one. I think that's the more
Was it the Angela Lansbury version or the?
it's just Best Original Song. It doesn't
Oh, so
necessarily.
just whoever sings it, just
Yeah, it is the this was a written song, so it's Menken and Ashman win this award
right.
because they wrote the song.
Right.
So yeah, and it won for Best
Ashman
Original.
posthumously wins it. So.
Yeah, so and Alan Menken wins for Best Original Score. So very cool. Nominated for the Chicago Film Critics Association for Best Picture. Golden Globes, it was nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, and won. Best
The
Original. What?
the Golden Globes are usually a curse, though. Like with the whole thing, like it doesn't necessarily always translate to the Oscars. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but the Golden Globes tend to get it right more often than the Oscars.
Yeah. In recent years, it hasn't.
Yeah, Golden Globes, especially at certain times in history, tend to be the ones that are on the right side of history as opposed to some of the others. But yeah, it also won for Best Score at the Golden Globes. Beauty and the Beast won for Best Original Song at the Golden Globes. At the Grammys, obviously, it was nominated for Album of the Year, nominated for Record of the Year, and the Record of the Year. It's always confusing. Album of the Year is the album. Record of the Year is the single. Like
Yeah.
the 45, what would have been.
Right. The one that comes in the little thing, the little glass case.
Yeah. So Celine Dion and Peebo Bryson version of that is what was nominated for Record of the Year. It won for Best Children's Album. It won for Best Pop Performance by a Group or Duo with Vocals. Nominated for Song of the Year. Won for Best Instrumental Composition, Best Song Specifically Written, Best Pop Instrumental Performance at the Grammys. So it cleaned up at the Grammys too.
Right.
So it absolutely just killed it. I think it was in the AFI's top 10 animated films. It was number 7. So you got that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. So big and such a fantastic Broadway musical that of course they turn it into an actual stage Broadway musical.
I'd like to see it someday. It's still running, or
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think Lion King still runs.
I think that's one of those things that if it's not running now, it certainly will.
Yeah.
But it premiered in 1994, so only a few years after the movie came out. As of 2017, it's Broadway's 10th longest running show in history.
I would at least go watch that.
The show ended its Broadway run in 2007 with 5,461 performances and 46 previews. So that's pretty impressive. In 2017, they released a live-action remake of the film,
which we reference a lot.
We've been talking about this whole time. So, you got Emma Watson and Luke Evans and Josh Gad and Kevin Kline and
Dan Stevens.
Yeah, Ian McKellen and Ewan McGregor,
and which also pretty good.
Yeah, they did a great job, and Menken returned as composer. So that was cool that they did it. Just like take his score and let somebody else do it. It's Menken's back to compose it. So
yeah, and as we discuss it flushes out some plot holes a little bit, which I appreciated.
Yeah. So So, we're in the legacy section of this stuff now, obviously.
Another
Um,
5 hours we go, buddy.
yeah, boy, everything. Well, with the exception of like the theme park stuff is a little different, but because it's handled a little differently. Um, Merchandising, like everything that Disney puts out, there's a Beauty and the Beast version of it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
If there's something where they're doing some sort of theming, if it's Belle's one of the official Disney princesses.
Yep.
There's comic books. Uh, there was there was a TV series in the '90s that I don't know if you remember
Uh,
that starred Belle, and it was like "Sing Me a Story" featuring Belle.
I don't remember that. I do know like the direct to video sequel, or it was like an in
Mid,
between, right?
yeah, Midcool, where it was like the Christmas of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and Belle's Magical World, which I do not remember that one. Three magical storybook adventures. So it's just Belle doing a weird thing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, so,
This storyline is set within the timeline of the original Beauty and the Beast, after Christmas, but before the fight with Gaston. So, I mean, that's so. Boy, a lot of time really did happen
yeah.
between Maurice getting back and
What's
them
he doing?
in the
What's
castle.
Maurice doing the whole time?
Yeah, maybe he was like institutionalized for a significant amount of time, like
Yeah.
because we don't really know that time period, but clearly it was enough to have Christmas and three enchanted stories to take place.
Uh,
that's
the
our that's our sequels thing. Was there sequels? Yes, apparently two of them. uh,
well, like we talk about merchandise, like Jade and I were at Disneyland a few weeks ago, and right now the theme parks merchandising they're really leaning into Captain Marvel,
yeah,
Avengers, and Aladdin.
and
And we still sold
yeah,
Belle dresses and
yeah,
Beast. It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah, and because it's Mickey stuff, there's like they've doubled down on Mickey Mouse stuff too.
yeah,
But Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast is still just this absolutely massive. I think it helps that Belle, out of all of the princesses, is probably the most like plain and like human like. Like she's just
yeah.
they don't go out of their way to make her look exceptionally beautiful and perfect and everything. She just kind of very plain. I mean, she's still a very she's still a very cute character design and is a very like she's clearly gorgeous in this universe, but they
Yeah.
don't like go above and beyond. She's not blonde hair, blue eyes. She is brunette with brown eyes. Like it's
A lot of the women in my life, uh, they love Belle because she's a bookworm.
yeah,
She's not like, oh, I'm just this little like, oh, like I just want a man. Like, no, she doesn't really care.
yeah,
She's not like, that
yeah,
for that's amazingly progressive. For the time she's like, I don't really care about
yeah,
finding a dude. I got my books.
yeah. Disney on Ice was a huge success, and Beauty and the Beast plays a significant role in that. Um, uh, Video games, yes.
Yeah, Being the Beast. Yeah,
Several.
Belle's Quest.
Yeah. Um, yeah. You have. There was a board game, Beauty and the Beast game, on the Game Boy Color. Um,
Huh.
Obviously, Kingdom Hearts, just everywhere because Beast is obviously very easy. Uh,
I'm sure there's again. We'd say it every week. I'm positive there's a Tiger LCD handheld.
Oh, I no, there absolutely 100% was a Tiger LCD handheld because I remember it very well. It was purple and pink. Uh,
Did you own it?
what?
Did you own it?
Almost certainly.
Yuck.
I didn't care about that. It's like, ew, girl. Like it was like it's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like it's a very like it gets this rep for being a very female centric princessy movie.
Yeah,
But like if you're a guy and you can't enjoy it for that reasons, you're
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Like
It's
you get it a little more with like Little Mermaid. Like it's clearly geared towards girls more.
right.
But like even that movie isn't like overtly like
Feminine.
yeah, feminine or dull, like tea parties and things like that. Yeah, it's character drama, and like all of
Right.
these are, apparently there was a video game on the Sega Genesis that I do not remember called Beauty and the Beast: War of the Beast.
That's what I own.
I don't remember that game.
I
I remember the original one, but I do not. Bells
Roar
of
of
the
the
West is the one that I remember.
so the Roar of the that's so the reason I know it's because you remember when KB their infamous discount bin.
Yeah.
My sister and I were at KB. They had Roar of the Beast for like $5.
Huh.
Yeah, I have it. I still own it.
Ah.
It's made by Sunsoft. Um,
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
it's friggin' difficult. It's like horribly difficult. So yeah.
Yeah. What? This is very confusing because I'm looking at the Wikipedia stuff for video games on Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Beauty and the Beast video game redirects here. For the 1996 sequel to The Last Ninja, see Beauty and the Beast, Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Well, so the sequel to the Commodore 64 game, The Last Ninja, was called Beauty and the Beast?
Okay. Do you
That,
did it? There's a cheat code for Roar of the Beast.
uh-oh.
Do you know what the cheat code is?
No.
You're a bad lad, Bubba.
Okay.
Up, right, left,
Nice.
A, down, B U B B A.
Nice.
Yep,
Nice.
still remember it.
So, theme park wise, um, it's not, there's no ride.
No, I was
But
I was like, am I missing something? Did I think I forget there's
there
a
is, that's not to say that there isn't a significant amount
presence.
of presence of Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, characters.
Yeah,
Characters are the obvious one. But like, you go to like Disney World, and there's like Gaston's pub, and
yeah.
there's like a statue of Gaston in front of it. And there's like, you go to Disneyland. And I can't remember which. There's a couple of places there in Fantasyland that sell like Beauty and the Beast inspired food. One of them is literally called the Gray Stuff. Like you
Mm-hmm.
get a little dessert, like a little mousse like dessert called the Gray Stuff, which is from the Be Our Guest song, where it's like, try the gray stuff. It's
It's
delicious.
delicious. I wonder how. I wish I'd known that now.
Yeah, and guess what? It's delicious.
Yeah.
Um, he Lumiere is not lying. It's like he's a cop. He would know. He's
Yeah, Jerry Orbach wouldn't lie to you.
yeah,
Dun, dun. Nobody puts gray stuff in the corner.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, love this movie.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the movies of 1991 or rank it first?
Let's see what movies it came out because we talked off air a little bit about that, but
We talked there off air, just a tad. Um, so the number one highest grossing movie of 1991 we talked about off air, so you know this already. I'm sorry, everyone, you don't get to hear Nick try to figure this one out. I forget which ones you thought were.
I thought it was either Batman Returns maybe or
Yeah. But the number one movie of the year is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
yeah,
The first R-rated movie I ever saw. So,
also pretty good movie.
also, especially coming off the heels of a recent release trailer for whatever, it's Terminator Dark Forces, Star Wars, whatever nonsense. They,
Yeah, the Terminator and Mara Jade.
yeah,
Chadwick,
um,
yeah,
yeah, it
Dash Rengar's there.
yeah, does not look good. Uh, number two of this year, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You know,
Hey,
I
you,
like that movie.
do you remember that movie was a massive success? Like people
Oh
forget,
yeah,
people tend to forget a little bit, but that Robin Hood movie, Robin Hood movies in general, like people want to go see Robin Hood movies. They just want you to make a good one too. So
I saw this in theaters with my aunt and my mom
yeah,
because they loved Kevin Costner.
yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
turns out their favorite part of the movie was Alan Rickman as the sheriff.
It's also one of the few times where um, you got a Morgan Freeman action figure,
Yes,
and they re-released the Ewok Village.
as Robin's play, and also Christian Slater. Let's just make him put him in this movie.
Yeah.
But
Um,
unlike
yeah.
some Robin Hoods, I
Yeah.
speak with a British accent.
So yeah, it's the third best Robin Hood movie.
I would agree to that.
I think the Errol Flynn one is phenomenal,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
but the Disney one is
I think I
also
say
phenomenal.
I was gonna say Men in
You're
Tights.
gonna think I was thinking Men in Tights, huh? No,
I like Men in
I,
Tights.
I'm being realistic and saying that the Errol Flynn Robin Hood is a
Okay.
phenomenal movie.
Can I
I could
count
have,
Robin Hood
yeah,
Daffy?
yeah,
Yoinks in a way.
yeah, the Dave Chappelle, uh,
Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in
Carrie Ells.
Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Mel Brooks movie. Um, number 3 of that year, Beauty and the
Beauty and
Beast.
the Beast. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4, Hook.
Also a movie I like and
I
that you like.
I love Hook.
Hook's a great friggin' movie.
Hook is incredibly good, and if you haven't given Hook a look at in recent years, which you probably have, because
Yeah.
like when Robin Hood, let's say when Robin Hood, when Robin Williams passed away, it made people look back at some of his, roles, and that was always one that popped up because, like, he's great in it. Everyone's great in it. Like it's
Yeah, that's a good movie.
yeah, it's like our generation grew up yelling Rufio,
Yeah. Looky looky, I got hooky.
Yeah.
Like I love that movie enough where I actually asked for like the action figure line for Christmas that year. So I
Yeah.
had Pan and Tall Terror Hook.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I kind of want to watch it again, like now.
And
Um,
also a great score.
yes, very much. Number 5, Silence of the Lambs. Um,
Also good.
fantastic movie. I just recently bought Silence of the Lambs Criterion edition. So,
You get to see Brian Keith get his head beat in high def.
1080p, baby.
Yeah.
Number 6, JFK.
Okay, so two costume movies so far.
Yeah. Number 7, The Addams Family.
I love the first Addams Family.
Yeah, it's good. It's very, very good.
It's one of those things where you remember that Christopher Lloyd's actually a really good character actor.
Yeah. It's and Raul Julia is absolutely
Yeah. Oh.
like
Yeah.
like he's Gomez Adams. Like in my
Yeah.
like in my
Yeah.
world.
That's like
I
yeah.
I didn't grow up reading the comics.
Or
Yeah.
like see like too many with the John
Or,
Aston.
yeah, or like the TV show wasn't like it wasn't like constantly running. So it was
Yeah.
like it's not like the 60s Batman or something where it was just
Yeah.
like they just kept that show going for an eternity until like it wasn't able to make money anymore. Like Addams
Well,
Family was just sort of in like I didn't know when it was on. I mean I watched it. I know I did and I enjoyed it, but that
well,
movie came out at a perfect time for me.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Like the thing, like when I was a kid, like they showed Addams Family once in a while, but they showed the Munsters more than Addams Family.
Yeah,
And so I
absolutely.
was more familiar with the Munsters.
Yeah, it's like we knew more about the Addams Family theme song than the Addams Family itself.
Yeah.
Like, number 8, Cape Fear, the remake, the Robert De Niro.
That movie's actually really good.
It's really good.
Counselor.
It's one of those rare like Cape. It's remaking uh um
A Robert Mitchum classic.
yeah, a Robert Mitchum classic is like that's you're taking you're taking a leap.
Yeah.
And
And going
they
back
did.
to our
Yeah.
funds for Simpsons parodies.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely one of the best.
The Thompsons episode of The Simpsons is
New Horacefield.
Yeah,
The
it's
rake scene.
well, absolutely one of my favorite episodes.
Oh,
Top
yeah.
episode for me.
Yeah.
Number 9. I didn't expect to see this on the list. Hot Shots,
The original one, not part 2.
not part D, the original Hot Shots. Which when I see it
All
on the
right.
list, like okay, I get it. I remember that movie was big and it got a sequel and everything, and early '90s comedy. But it's the number 10 movie that I sort of thought would have made more than Hot Shots, and number 10 is City Slickers.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I love City Slickers.
City Slickers is great.
Yeah, the
So
Curly's Gold, not so much,
no, no,
but
but
the first one,
yeah,
just with one thing.
yeah. So that's your top 10. I'm just now looking at the rest of the movies. Oh, White Fang, which was a Disney movie, came out in '91. Um, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen White Fang.
I probably watched it in school, but I can't tell you for sure.
Never Ending Story Part 2, the next chapter. No thanks.
Yeah, Atreyu's alive.
Yeah. King Ralph.
I, I actually kind of like King Ralph.
Uh, the movie that lets you realize that Dan Aykroyd is 110% completely and utterly unhinged came out in 1991, and that's Nothing But Trouble.
Oh God,
The, I don't know.
that's a yeah. He plays the
He plays the crazy old man
judge. The
judge
judge.
with
Yeah,
where his nose is clearly. It's incredibly phallic.
yeah. It's
It's
also not very good.
Oh, it's terrible. It says it's a horror comedy in its description, and I'm like, it's only horror by the sense of it looks disgusting.
Yeah,
Because it has like those weird mutant twins and stuff, and it's got like John Candy and drag and stuff. Like,
yeah. It.
it's very bad.
It's
It's,
don't seek it out. It's
no,
not good.
no,
Like
it's a curiosity. I'll give you that. Like, but boy, it's like, oh, Dan Aykroyd's not right, is he? Because
if you want to see a if you want to
that's
see a
all him. He directed and wrote it.
there you go. That explains that. If you want to see a decent early '90s Dan Aykroyd movie, watch Sneakers. That's a good film.
The Doors came out,
Okay.
so Oliver Stone really kind of
Yeah.
doing some work in 1991, huh? Like
Yeah.
with JFK.
He's I mean, he's fresh off what Platoon and
Yeah.
yeah.
New Jack City.
There you go.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
I do you like it better than the first one?
No, no.
Okay.
As a kid, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I
Because as a kid, it was as close to the cartoon as you could get.
yeah
And that was exciting. The first one wasn't anything like the cartoons.
no
But as an adult, who's now been able to go back through the history of Ninja Turtles a little more and actually read the comics and everything, like, oh, the first one is not only just a great Turtles movie, but like it's a genuinely good like practical effects, like
yeah
action creature feature kind of movie.
Jim Henson's Creature Shop like
Yeah, like
put work in.
yeah, put some work into it. It looks good. It's well acted. It's dark, but not heavy.
Yeah.
It's generally good. Like, Turtles 2 is just like we can't use our weapons, and also here's Vanilla Ice, and it's not Bebop and Rocksteady, but
Toka Razor.
yeah,
I mean, you and I have
Authors of
like
Pain, Toka and Razor.
I mean, me and you, I like, you know, we like, oh, Super Shredder's Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's our big thing. Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So like as a kid, it's like I technically had a Kevin Nash action figure
yeah, exactly. I have it.
before he was
I feel
ever
like that thing was
Diesel.
rare. I feel like
I,
Super Shredder was a rare figure.
yeah, who knows? I owned it and I didn't understand any of that as a kid.
He was perennial TV champion for me.
But yeah, but like you know, growing up, it's like I think 3 isn't as bad as we remember it, but it's also terrible. Like
The
it's as,
crack show in 3.
yeah, it's as bad as 2, and two's
Yeah,
bad. So it's
yeah.
um,
But yeah,
How about Robert Townsend's The Five Heartbeats?
never saw it.
It's got Keenan Ivory Wayans in it, or it's
The
like or he like it's like screenplay like credit for it or something. Like yeah. Oh, Drop Dead Fred. Hey. Toy Soldiers. I remember that one. Not Small Soldiers, as some people would probably get them confused.
and not the Martika song Toy
Yeah.
Soldiers.
Madonna's Truth or Dare. Oh, What About Bob came out this year. I love What About Bob.
Baby Steps Out of the Office.
Yeah. Frank Oz is a great movie director. And
Well, he
you know,
directed The Little Shop of Horrors as well.
yeah, and
Blues
uh,
Brothers. No, it was John Landis. Sorry.
and wasn't it Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah,
Bowfinger, which I don't know if you've gone back to Bowfinger. Bowfinger's actually a really good movie. I think at the
I
time
haven't
it
seen
was like,
Blues in a long time.
I think at the time people are like, oh, that's like, it's Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy kind of on their downslope of their career, but like, um, go back to Bowfinger. That's it's worth going back to. I think that movie's really good. Like, especially with some older eyes on it. Like, but yeah, I love What About Bob.
Yeah, it. I get Richard Dreyfuss's character is annoyance to that movie. It's just like seriously, this guy's annoying. He's a
Yeah, no,
crazy man who followed me to my home.
yeah,
Why are
no,
you welcoming him in?
yeah, no. Bill Murray is incredibly unlikable in that movie, and
Yeah,
that's like good. He should. Backdraft came out in 1991.
I actually kind of like Backdraft.
A a sequel to Backdraft literally just came out.
I saw that and no,
It's currently on Netflix. You can watch it
yeah,
on
it,
Netflix.
it gets
My parents watched it, I guess, and like I said, "Oh,
it,
how was it?" And I was like, "This is fine." My
it,
dad didn't much care for Backdraft originally, so it's as good as Backdraft is to him. So
the legacy of Backdraft for me will always be like the Universal just committed to that experience for
yeah,
years.
it was a cool experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was. If you went to Universal in the wintertime, that was a great ride.
only two characters return in the sequel, and it's the William Baldwin and Donald Sutherland characters.
Because what?
Yeah,
Why is Donald Sutherland in that movie?
I
William Baldwin, I get.
yeah, Billy Baldwin, sure. I do not know what Donald Sutherland's character would be.
Why?
I'm like, why
No.
is he starting fires again?
Like you do realize you're Donald Sutherland and you don't have to do this movie, right?
Yeah. It's like you're cool. I think Donald Sutherland's just at the, hey, here's a script. All right, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Just he doesn't
It's like
care.
just keep doing voiceovers for orange juice commercials.
Yeah. Hudson Hudson Hawk came out.
Oh, good God. I don't know if it's a worse game or movie.
Oh yeah, they're both
Like,
terrible for their platform.
this is like, oh, people love Bruce Willis. Let's put him in a bunch of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
no, let's not put him in a bunch of
Hey,
stuff.
guess what? Bruce Willis, not a comedy guy. He has the potential to be funny, but that does not make him a comedy guy. And
Yeah.
Hudson Hawk, that tries to do that absurdist comedy, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise came out this year, which
That's a pretty good movie.
yeah, don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
That's not a good movie.
Jungle Fever by Spike Lee. Oh, one of the most overlooked Disney movies of all time came out in 1991.
Uh,
Live action.
okay. Had to be. Give me a hint.
No, I'm just gonna tell you. It's The
Okay.
Rocketeer.
Good. Speaking of Timothy Dalton,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what, dude, The Rocketeer is a pretty dope looking movie.
The Rocketeer is so good, and the fact that Disney has yet to sort of cash in on the aesthetic of that movie is maddening. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's not a bad movie. It's actually really good.
very good. It's a great period action piece, and like you could easily just make another one today. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't even have to be a sequel. You just like, it's the Rocketeer. It's guy in the rocket suit. There he goes.
yeah, and
Like, yeah, it's a period piece. Just like
he doesn't have powers. He's just
yeah.
a guy.
It's like, and it's not like the original Rocketeer was like, Kurt Russell or something. It's like it's Billy Campbell. Like nobody.
Yeah,
You just put anyone in that role. It doesn't matter. This take Star Lord and change him just a little bit, make him the Rocketeer.
The
They're almost wearing the same attire.
well, I mean, like the whole appeal of it was, I mean, the biggest stars in that movie were what? Timothy Dalton, Paul Sorvino, and Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, and Alan Arkin was in it too.
Alan Arkin, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that movie. I love that movie. Like
Yeah.
genuinely love the Rocketeer.
You have
The
much.
Naked,
You have some Mondo stuff with Rocketeer on it here.
oh yeah. The Naked Gun 2.5.
Yeah.
Problem Child 2.
Eh,
Terminator 2. 101 Dalmatians re-release.
okay.
Point Break.
Hell yeah. Utah,
oh,
give me 2.
oh man, look at you, Keanu Reeves. Point Break on July 12th, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on July 19th.
Mm.
So, I
It's okay. Bogus Journey is fine.
Bogus Journey is perfectly fine.
It's okay.
So, and that's more than acceptable. It can be okay.
For what it is, it's fine. How are they going to do the sequel without George Carlin?
It's the time travel movie. Who knows? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They'll
It
do
matters
it.
to me. I want to know what happens to Rufus.
Let's see. What's the next big thing? Upstairs. Hot Shots. There we go. Doc Hollywood.
Oh God! Speaking of like downslip with a career,
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox is like,
Michael J. Fox co-starring with Woody Harrelson.
yeah.
Uh, Rover Dangerfield.
Oh God!
The Rodney Dangerfield animated dog movie.
No.
Warner Brothers really trying to. Or how about Rockadoodle? A Don Bluth Chanticleer.
I I Rockadoodle is it's pretty bad.
Return
It's
to the Return to the Blue Lagoon.
I never saw the first one.
A movie that I absolutely saw in theaters. 1991 family dog movie, Bingo. I look, especially back then, you could get me to go to anything that was like, it's a dog featured movie. It's Beethoven, Bingo, whatever it is, I'll be there.
You're a
Here,
kid.
hey, Double Impact came out in
There
1991.
you go. That's a good movie.
Yeah, Barton Fink.
Okay.
Yeah, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Mm.
Child's Play 3. Still, like, this is 1991, and we're still getting theatrical Child's Play movies, so
Yep. For reasons that nobody can.
nobody can quite figure out.
And yet here we are in 2019, and we're getting another Child's Play movie.
Yep. Let's see. Ricochet, unfortunately not the professional wrestler, the Denzel Washington movie.
Denzel Washington does a 6:30.
Yeah. Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's the one I've seen.
Yeah.
That's the one I've seen.
That's the one Ernest movie you've seen is Scared Stupid.
The one I can remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen goes to jail or goes to camp or.
I've seen Ernest Saves Christmas several times.
Okay, maybe I've seen that one too.
Frankie and Johnny. Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
Mm-hmm.
Cool as Ice.
Oh God! This is a dark.
Drop
dark
the
period.
hero. Drop the zero. Get with a hero.
That's right. Rob Van Winkle.
Yeah.
He was a thing.
It was a thing. He had two significant movie situations in 1991 of a featured part in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and Cool as Ice, a film starring him as seemingly him.
If you're at all curious about watching that movie, you got to do the Riff Tracks version of it.
Yeah.
Even then, it's still kind of rough.
Yeah. Highlander 2: The Quickening.
Dude, why? Like, hey, like the whole thing with the Highlander? Yeah, we're aliens now. Why? What?
Oh, The People Under the Stairs came out this year.
That movie's kind of good.
I no, I highly recommend The People
That's
Under
a
the
Wes
Stairs.
Craven, right?
Wes Craven directed
Yeah,
and written. Wes Craven. Cape Fear, Kafka, The Addams Family, An American Tale, Five Goes West.
I love Follows West.
Opened the same day as Beauty and the Beast.
Yikes!
Yeah. The original American Tale, took some of the thunder away just a few years earlier from
This
Disney, and
this
now
would be
Disney,
called
and now
payback.
Disney's like, hey, how do you like them apples?
Yeah, because the whole thing about Five Goes West was like, oh, Jimmy Stewart's doing a voice in this movie.
Star Trek Six: The Undiscovered Country,
Hell yeah, I love Star Trek Six.
The Last Boy Scout, better
What
than
it's
Hudson Hawk.
is that Damon Wayans in that one?
It is Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis, yeah.
Yep, and Halle Berry is in that movie.
She is. I,
1991 Halle Berry.
the only reason the significance of that movie is we took Mike, when I was in school, we took a field trip to LA and we were by the Coliseum and we couldn't we went to go like near the Coliseum, like, no, you can't, we're filming a movie there.
Yeah.
It's called The Last Boy Scout. Like, oh, okay, is
Oh,
it good? We
yeah.
don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. Rounding out the year, you have Prince of Tides
Not as good
and
as Prince of Thieves.
Fried Green Tomatoes. So
Okay.
yeah, 1991, good year for movies. Also a very bad year for movies.
Yeah, just
um, for every City Slickers and Terminator 2, you get Hudson Hawk and Cool as Ice.
yeah.
So you're a lot of cartoons this year, more than I remember. But like, I'm not saying yes, you have. I like Five Goes West. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the original American Tale, but I have fondness for Five Goes West. But also
Rockadoodle,
you
not so much.
you also have Rockadoodle and Rover Dangerfield. So,
Ferngully's not out yet at this point.
I think Ferngully has already been out by this
Okay.
point, because I think that was like no, next year. Next year.
Okay. All right. All right.
Ferngully's next year. I thought it was last year, but it's next year. So we split the difference.
So join us next week when we talk about Ferngully.
Ferngully. Uh, was it Robin Williams in Ferngully?
Yeah,
so
he was the bat, right?
so he gets to be in both Aladdin and Ferngully in the same year.
Yeah. Hopefully, Don Bluth paid him with art.
certainly seems to be the trend. Yeah, Ferngully obviously kept to their end of the bargain, because I absolutely forgot that Robin Williams was in Ferngully until I looked at it. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. They didn't market him because he doesn't want to be marketed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. You ready to rank it?
Yep. Let's do it.
I have cleaned up the lists because it was getting out of hand. So,
Did you want a brand new dry race board?
Yes. I've now separate. I used to have them in one Excel sheet, but that got increasingly difficult because like you're inserting lines and you're having to drag and drop things to line them back up, and things are getting all sort of. And so it's like, you know what? I'm just going to do two separate document files, one for you.
Let's open another Excel tab.
So, you ready?
Yep.
Robin Hood,
Worse than Robin Hood.
Jungle Book,
Better than Jungle Book.
better than Jungle Book. Nick putting it at number deuce.
Yeah. I really like this movie. And I even had to think about, like, do I like this more than Robin Hood? It's close. But
So for me, let's see. I like it more than the Jungle Book. No, not more than less than the Jungle Book. I like it more than Fantasia.
wow.
So number two.
Wow, Fantasia got bumped again.
Well, Fantasia's been holding at 2 since Jungle
Right.
Book.
But
So,
we're very upfront
Yeah.
about this stretch. Like, there's going to be some shuffling.
Yeah. So both of us, it's number 2. on both of our lists, both with different number ones, but both
Yeah.
of our number ones are virtually the same movie, as our canon has figured out, because my number one is Jungle Book and yours is
Uh,
Robin Hood. And as we've deciphered in recent years, they are directly connected.
I I predict, maybe not next week, but the week after, I predict there might be a new number one for one or both of us.
So there we go. I'm going to say that while it's not my favorite Disney movie, it's close. It's
Yeah,
very close.
yeah.
Um, but I think it is their best movie.
Oh yeah,
Um, it's firing on all cylinders. They have their team is second to none at this point. They've put together, it being scripted probably helped it a lot.
yeah.
Uh, it being, you know,
A musical.
a musical and producing it as such, going out of your way to make it a musical, to make it a Broadway style musical, it helps a lot, and
It's
I
visually
think
stunning.
it looks gorgeous. There's no moment in it when you're watching it you're like or anything. It's like
Yeah,
start to finish. It starts off with the gorgeous stained glass and it ends with the gorgeous stained glass, and everything in between is just top notch animation. Um, and that's going to be a consistent theme throughout,
yeah.
like, for several of this stretch of movies. Um, uh, and so the cultural impact of Beauty and the Beast can't be um, overstated. It had a massive impact on people. To
And rightfully so.
Yeah, and to
Yeah.
this day. So highly, highly recommend Beauty and the Beast. But
If you don't,
I don't need to tell you that. You know that already. You know that Beauty and the Beast, like, it was
like
an
it,
Academy Award nominated cartoon before there was a
like
category for cartoons. So
yeah. If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't watched it and you're dependent on us to
yeah,
convince you,
convince you.
I I have no answers for you.
But like the first 25 episodes of this show will be useful to you, perhaps, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
movies in there that you probably have never seen.
yeah. Or
You
they're
know,
hard to find, or they're
hard to find, or or you forgot about,
yeah,
or it's like you didn't know. Like, some of those weird 40s movies that we were doing, like, a lot of those you wouldn't know were
yeah.
like
Snow White
part
may not be your cup of tea.
yeah, but like, things like Make My Music and those weird saludos and weird things like that, like, you may not realize that those are part of this lineage.
Yeah,
And even though we're telling you that Saludos de Amigos and the Three Caballeros are uh, objectively horrible movies that you probably shouldn't watch, but there's the curiosity there. It's like, is it really
yeah.
that bad? Watch. But we don't need to tell you that with Beauty and the Beast.
No, like,
You know already that you like it.
or you don't. You like
Yeah,
it or
or
you
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, why?
And if you don't, please unsubscribe. Uh,
Like,
uh,
because this is probably not the show for you.
yeah, it's something's broken, and we're not going to be able to fix it, and you're just going to get increasingly more angry as you listen to this show.
There's a
So,
great empty hole right to the middle of you.
so, so yeah, yeah, that's Beauty and the Beast. Next week we will be doing uh,
Another marathon episode.
another marathon episode, because we're firing on all cylinders now for the next several episodes. Uh, I can't wait. Um, I'm actually really excited for Aladdin.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I just the other day I just saw yesterday, as filming of this
yeah.
episode, recording of this episode, I saw the live action one. So Aladdin's fresh in my soul right
And I'm
now.
probably seeing it next Friday. I'm going to do a
And
double feature of Godzilla and Aladdin.
I, that's whiplash. Um,
That's pretty much on brand for me. So
yeah, so I'm also seeing Godzilla next weekend, but not I've already seen Aladdin, so I don't have to double dip into it that way. So, all right, so yeah, next week, Aladdin. Oh, I can't wait.
yeah,
I
it's gonna be good.
can't wait. Did you know that they released a Tangled short film when they re-released this in theaters in for the 3D version of Beauty and the
I
Beast?
didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just one of those stupid things that just
Was
popped
it the
into
one? Was it the wedding one?
Tangled Ever After. Yeah,
Yeah, that's on the Disney Pixar collection.
yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I just thought
Yeah,
about that. So yeah, next week, Aladdin. Uh, can't wait. Join us, please. It'll be a good, fun episode. It'll just be two big nerds gushing about Aladdin, so just like how
it
those
just
two
it
big nerds
just
gushing about Beauty and the Beast.
us extending our hand to you and saying, "Do you trust me?"
Yeah, exactly. So next week, join us on our magic carpet ride, and
To
as
a whole new
always,
world.
to a whole new world. Uh, but until then, thank you and have a magical day.
That's